Hey there, everybody. Are y'all ready for some Star Trek? Let's go play some Star Trek. Y'all want to play Star Trek? I want to play Star Trek. All right. Yeah, it's a good game. You're going to get into a scene now. So, you're all aboard the conference room of the USS Shran. Baj, who you spoke to at the end of the previous episode, she is a Klingon woman. Her uniform's obviously a little different than y'all's because it's 40 years in the future. She's rough. She's just like right at 6 feet tall. She is, she got big, giant Klingon hair that's, well put together because she's a Starfleet officer. She can't let it be too scraggly. And then with her is a Vulcan who is you kind of assume that she's likely the XO. And then there is a third person there who it seems to be the doctor. So they've all just walked in. So as they walk in, Baj comes up to, first to the captain, Captain Beers, and she does like one of those Klingon handshakes where you sort of grab the forearm rather than the hand. So she does one of those handshakes, and she goes through and does it with everybody, and then she just says, "Captain Beers, pleased to meet you in person."
Pleased to meet you as well, Captain Baj.
And then she goes down the line with each of you, and as she's doing that, she introduces to all of you. She references the the Vulcan with her, and she says, "This is Commander tlhIngan, my first officer." tlhIngan is a little shorter than her. tlhIngan's about like 5'6", and she has, of course, dark Vulcan hair with the kind of classic Vulcan haircut, and she's a Vulcan. She's very put together, and she gives you all a Vulcan salute and says, "Peace and long life." And then the third person is a man, though he has something on his arm right here that you've never seen before. And when they beamed over, it was like two people and a device. And so this person has something on his arm. He's kind of got a bald head. And he introduces himself before Baj can, and he just says, "And I am the doctor. Though some people call me Joe." And so he introduces himself, and they all kind of once all the introductions are done. Which, by the way, does any of you have anything to say for yourself an introduction as like Baj kind of goes down the line, because she greets each of you by name, like Commander Shiv, Commander Jklar, and then she points at Uvana and says Uvana Nakis, like as if she's asking to make sure she's correct.
That's me.
And then she gets to Voss, and she just nods to him and gives him a handshake or an arm shake, and says, "And Voss, it is good to see you as well." So, does anybody have anything they say to her or any of the crew members? Okay, so y'all.
I try to not be rude, but when I'm shaking her hand, I'm just glancing over at Joe's arm device, because that immediately piqued my interest when I saw the transport signature.
Yeah, like I said, it's on just the side of his arm. And yeah, the transport signature did not register that as a human being, as he appears to be.
So these three people are on our bridge?
They're in the conference room with the three. Okay. They Baj had, in the following action between episodes, had asked to meet y'all over on y'all's own conference room. And so, as y'all sit down, Baj just kind of, she just sort of takes a position in her chair, like a very, not relaxed, but certainly kind of like a Riker sit, where he's kind of got his arms spread out on it and he's sort of leaned forward, similar to that. And then she begins to say to you, "So, we have a ship to return 40 years back to the past. I have in the possession of the Enterprise a device that will do such a thing." And then she kind of taps, she has a pad that she sort of pulls out, And she taps a few things on it, and then sort of, like when you're buying like with your card now, and how you can wave it instead of, insert it or slot it through something, that like that scan now that people do with their cards, chip. She kind of does something similar with her pad. She kind of like waves it wherever that would be, and she enters a few commands, and suddenly a schematic comes up on like the the screen in that room, and it is describing a device called a chrono deflector. And then she begins to explain that this device operates by generating a powerful tachyon pulse to form a temporal rift, which could then be directed to a specific time and place. In the case of you, we will direct it to about 3 days after your ship disappeared. Although it is able to generate a stable rift, from what we understand, the device also produces a large amount of tachyokinetic energy as a byproduct of its operation, posing the risk that it would burn itself out after a single use, prohibiting a return trip, which works perfectly in your circumstances. My crew will help you install this device and run schematics to ensure that it will work.
I have a concern, Captain.
Yes, Captain.
Temporal Prime Directive. I'm sure your Federation still has the same in place.
Of course.
How are we going to reduce the need for interactions between your crew and mine?
You will be limited to these 3 officers, including the 3 of us on my ship. Pardon me. You will be reduced to only my senior officers interacting with you, most directly myself, tlhIngan, and the doctor. And then she just kind of looks at you as if, like, did that answer your question?
He just nods and looks over the rest of the crew and says, I'd like to go home too. I'm sure the rest of you would as well. But I want to make this clear. None of you are to do any sort of research or any sort of examination. And he looks over at Voss because he noticed Voss was looking up and down at the doctor. And goes, of our guests, beyond necessary mission parameters. Is that understood?
Are questions permitted?
No, not unless they're specifically
Relevant.
mission related.
Yeah.
Understood.
Understood, Captain.
Yes, Captain.
And if you, for any reason, find yourselves aboard the Enterprise, there will be security measures in place to prevent you from seeing panels and consoles. Though I doubt that will be an issue today. And then she kind of, once y'all kind of gotten through that, she also says, I do have certain things that I am allowed to divulge to you, information I am allowed to divulge to you as ordered by a certain admiral. She kind of, like, when she says that, she sort of, you can't tell, but she's looking at one of you, and she's looking toward Shiv and Jagar, but you can't tell which one. And then so what she divulges to you for now is what she says is, I have been assigned this mission for almost 20 years. Today has been many, many, many moons of preparation. So I hope that you understand that a lot of work has gone into this.
I'm just gonna I'm gonna beg. Excuse me if I can have a word with my captain here, real quick, and I'm just gonna motion to Beers to maybe step aside to the corner of the conference
Okay.
room.
I'll step aside.
There's like a side, and then we could just say there's like a side office next to it. So if you wanted to go into another room, there's like one that you immediately have access to.
I'm gonna beg, Captain, I strongly recommend we verify these people are who they say they are, because their technology is certainly advanced, but we're taking a lot on faith here, and by no means can we allow them to install a piece of random machinery into our ship without verifying It is what they say it is. It does what they say it does, and it poses no danger to the ship. I remind you that only recently, by our time, the Enterprise encountered Enterprise logs encountered a time traveler claiming to be from the 27th century, who was actually from the 22nd century. Berlinghoff Rasmussen, if I remember his name. Just because these people say they're from the future does not mean they are automatically from the future.
That's where you step in, Mr. Shiv.
All right, so with your permission, I'd like to take the lead in verifying these people are who they say they are.
Only you. I don't want the rest of your team. Nobody else should know. You're the only one I trust with the knowledge of the future and to not do anything with it.
Okay. So at this point, I'd like to re-enter the conference room, and I'm going to assume...
Bosch just kind of smirks at you as you come back.
I'm going to assume that if there's a temporal, there's a temporal prime directive, so there's obviously a series of rules and protocols,
of course,
for this sort of thing. So I'm gonna start into whatever protocol interrogation exists for. All right, if you're from the future and you remember the Federation, you'll know this. I'll interrogate with this, and you'll know this response. I'll interrogate with this, you'll know this response. Kind of thing. Through the course of this conversation, am I satisfied that these people are Federation and indeed?
Okay. So you're kind of skimming over basically the things you're asking. I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You do that. Okay. I know. I'm making sure. Yeah. Yes. Like every answer sounds absolutely correct to you. And Bosch answers these questions. And then tlhIngan, the Vulcan, chimes in too. The doctor he's just scanning y'all like a doctor would. And then, yeah, so I would say very much to your satisfaction, unless you have a specific question that you need answered that you can think of too. But if
no.
you're, yeah, okay. But yeah.
So satisfied that these people are who they are. My last concern would be, I'm gonna want our science and engineering staff to look over this chrono deflector before we install it in the ship.
Of course.
If they're happy and they tell me this thing is as you say it is, then we'll allow it to be installed in our ship.
I never speak lies, Commander. She's not offended. She's just very staunch with you.
Yes,
in particular.
In my experience, not everybody knows what the truth is. So
that is fair and not unwise. So she gets through that with y'all, and she's about to start telling. She's about to go into something else, but then suddenly a hail comes through, and so whoever's on the bridge pipes to Captain Bierce and says, "The Enterprise is hailing, Captain."
I say, pipe it through to the conference room.
Okay, and you pipe it through, and it's a crew member from aboard the Enterprise. In fact, they look somewhat like YOLO, but not exactly. There's different coloring and things like that, but they are also a Papite. But they have a pretty, you probably haven't met tons of them, and they, it's kind of like they all have certain things that they all have, right? Like a human would, like we have elbows, we have legs, all that kind of stuff. But of course, there's some variation in the color pattern, but there is a resemblance to YOLO. And YOLO immediately, like kind of, she, like, how a puppy dog like tilts its head when it's confused, she does that. And that person, who appears to be the helmsman aboard that ship, she says, "Captain Bush, we're detecting Klingons on the way. From a long-range scan." And then Baj, of course, immediately she asks, "Can you tell what ship it is?" And then this other Papite says,
From what I can tell, it's like 3 or 4 of them. And it's not looking, it looks like the Burrell, bird of praise, 2 of them, and then 1 cavort.
And Baj just kind of, she, all right, I'm on my way back with the other officers. And then she goes ahead for the behalf of you, shuts the comm off, and she says, well, I would recommend we all go to red alert. I do not want to spoil the future for you, so to speak, but what I can divulge to you in this present time is there is conflict with the Klingon Empire. I don't know how many of these I've endured in my lifetime between the Klingons and the Federation, but it is what it is. And so she stands up, her people stand up, and she just says, I recommend red alert to you, Captain. But wait till I get over there, okay? All right, let me get back over there. So they take off, it's probably escorted by one of your crew members to the transport bay, and of course they just transport from where they go ahead and signal to be transport back from where they are. Yeah, they beam out, and the Enterprise beams it back over.
Once they're gone,
yeah,
I'll turn to Shiv and say, Mr. Shiv, make her ready for battle. Red alert.
And with that, we are going into the intro. All right. So, as you've now gone into red alert, the Enterprise, y'all were doing this, the classic ships talking to each other pose, but the Enterprise sort of does a 180, and YOLO, just out of habit, just sort of as y'all are coming back to the bridge, she has moved the ship kind of. Here's the Enterprise, and here's y'all. So it's like Enterprise is forward, but y'all are to, I guess, I can't remember what the right side of a ship is. The port?
Starboard.
Yeah, starboard side. So y'all are off to the Enterprise's starboard and, a little back from it. And so when you return to the bridge, YOLO gets out of the command chair or she's already out of the command chair because she went ahead and did helm. And as, by the time y'all get back to the bridge, what y'all see is 3, the other character described, 2 Brels and 1 Cavort, which I believe the Cavort is the war class. It's a big, they all look the same. It's just that, Cavort is it's a much larger bird of prey. Whereas
it's the newer one, if I think.
Yeah, the Cavort is a scale 5, I believe, whereas the Brels are a scale 2. So they're more like scouts. You have 3 Klingon ships immediately, coming in. And, this is where we're at the beginning of Act 1, of course. And so as they come into view, the next thing you know is both you and the Enterprise get a hail at the same time. And as y'all receive, as y'all open channel to that hail, you see, oh, sorry. No, I don't know why I'm apologizing to y'all for me screwing up my own self. It's from the bigger of the 3 ships. It's from that Cavort. And by the way, Shikar, I want you to sort of make a passive perception check on for me, which let me determine what that's going to be. I'm going to look at your sheet. let's say it's an insight command. It's an insight command. Task roll 2. Difficulty is going to be 0 for you on this.
Okay. Do I have any focus that would work with this? As far as like diplomacy or something like that?
Yes. Just yes.
Okay.
You know what you're rolling for, but I'll tell you if you're successful, which you likely will be.
And I hit that button.
Oof. Which it's not a big deal. You don't know. Like what I was having you roll for is if you recognize the hull.
Okay.
If you recognize the ship. What did you roll on each of those? You didn't. Did you roll complications on those?
No, I don't think so.
No.
She just rolled 0. Yeah. So yeah, what you see here is you don't recognize it. You don't recognize. I mean, you know what they are, but you don't recognize whose particular Klingon ships these are.
Gotcha.
And then once the hail comes through, and what you'll have going is like you can see both Baj and this person that hailed in. That way, y'all can kind of have a going comm.
Picture in picture. Yeah.
Yeah. And he stands up from his seat, and he's Klingon. He's like kind of older, for a Klingon. He's probably like in his 70s. Like he's older than Baj. He looks like he's older than Baj. Baj is approximately a 70-year-old Klingon, but Klingons, it's like it's rare for them to see past the age of 50. And generally, like a 70-year-old Klingon, like generally looks like a 50-year-old Klingon because they age. They can actually if you didn't know this, Klingons can be up to 300 years old. They just rarely are. It's super.
Because they like to fight.
Yeah. They're like
Lumek
Vulcans. They can live for like
Bomb.
3 centuries if they wanted to, but they don't. They're very much the antithesis of Vulcans.
Day is a good day to die.
Yeah. So Baj she just immediately says, "Koroth, what do you want?" And Koroth, this Klingon, says, "I want my chrono deflector back." Now they both just sound like Baj, and like thus they both sound like strong bad. So he's
Boss is in the background pretending to be shocked.
I'll kind of, and so for his voice, I'll kind of be like, "I want my chrono deflector back." And Baj says, "No!" And then he says, "I do not see, I'm getting mixed up." Oh, man, Klingon. Man, Klingon. Sorry, it's good. I don't want him to mix them up so bad. She says, "No!" And he just says, "The trade was not fair." And Baj says, "It is not my fault that you're the idiot who messed up the materials Admiral Janeway traded him for." And he just starts accusing, he says, "Federation scum," and he insults her like on a Klingon level. Like he's speaking Klingon to her, that Klingon's so filthy that even the what do you call it?
Translator.
The translator's just like bleep 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 bleep. It's just bleeping out
There was at least one chab shosh lekuch in there. Your mother has a smooth forehead.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
I'm like,
And then
As this is going on, I'm just looking over to the to our comms officer and just trying to gather what's going on with all of the
yeah,
the
and then like
bleeding.
it starts to kind of like catch back up. I mean, because even Baj says things back that the thing's bleeping out, which I imagine is just Shigar just secretly going bleep 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 at this point. But yeah, Baj and him are arguing back and forth for a second, and when he says like her mother has a smooth forehead, and then she just says, maybe your parents didn't have a son that they loved. And
as this is going on, I'm going to step in and say, I hate to interrupt such a cultural exchange.
Wait. Before I want to give you an opportunity here before you even say
Okay.
that. Any of y'all are passively doing anything in particular while this like Klingon shouting match is going on?
I mean, I'm definitely gesturing for our science officer to start scanning, and
ooh.
for Shiv to start gathering target data.
Okay,
And
actually, perfect. I was really hoping. So this can be a join cast between Uvana and Shiv, because Uvana can scan for weaknesses and basically create an advantage for Shiv to fire and have a target lock. So, Uvana, roll science and control for me.
How? Right.
Complication range.
There no complication range, or just one. That's fine. Actually, two complication range of 2. Sorry, I just thought about that for a second. And then the difficulty's just literally it's gonna be 1. Very nice. Oh, you needed to roll 2 die.
Oh, sorry.
Just roll 1 more.
Okay.
We'll accept your first die and that first 0. So,
Gotcha.
so you did fine. You were able to create an advantage that for Shiv, if he has to fire for a target lock. So, Shiv, is there a particular which the weakness here that you found is there's a weakness in their what's it called system? There's a weakness in their con. Like in their con control systems, there seems to be a few, like, thrusters and stuff like that aren't at the best capacity, if that makes sense. They're not in their best shape. So, Shiv, that means that you have the knowledge that their thrusters in particular are problematic. So if you wanted to fire later and have a target lock on a particular system, we could say it's their I guess in the case of the game, it would be more like an engine, probably. Not, but yeah, their maneuvering abilities are not the best. So,
Would the scans indicate whether these are new ships or are they like old relics from our time still?
that's a good question. It's the design hasn't changed much. But the scan was just trying to find a weakness, so that's the only information it's getting. Unless, again, if you decided to do something for yourself as well, which I just wanted to give you guys an opportunity to kind of
Sure,
look at that.
I'll do that kind of scan. Then.
So maybe you piggyback onto her scan.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd like to know whether our existing database about Klingon ships would be of any help, or are these new ships that we have no idea about weaknesses or strengths? That's the sort of information I'd like to glean.
Wait, just say that to me one more time. I'm having a hard time. I was looking
Because
at stuff.
this is 40 years in the future. I want to see
No.
if these are ships older than 40 years.
Okay.
Or are they?
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and give me a roll of. Sorry, I'm looking. Let's try reason and security for you there.
Reason, security. Okay.
Yeah, you can tell there's like some upgrades, but they're very, very like if it ain't broke, don't fix it when it comes to the Klingons. They don't make tons of improvements. The bigger ship, even though it has like, the thruster issue, it does seem to have some form of shield modulation going on that you can't quite suss out, but there's some kind of improvement to shields. Is what you can tell. Like there's more power generated into it. It's modulated in some way that's not typical of Klingon ships you've seen. Though the other two are very typical. They don't seem like they're very different in design at all. It's just that that bigger ship that seems to have a more powerful shield than the Cavort you're used to seeing. If that makes sense.
I'm gonna send that information to Shiv's console, so he just gets a pop-up with the information.
Okay.
Okay. And then mine is the standard tactical scan, what the weapon complement, the status of their shields, and whether they have target locks on anybody.
Okay, you want a lot of information out of a scan.
A tactical scan, a tactical situation. It's basically
and they've already sent you information too, so you kind of have pieces put together to some degree, so you can extrapolate based on one more, maybe a tactical scan, you with the combined information, you may be able to like kind of answer all your questions. So
Okay.
go ahead and roll me a reason. I'm also going to put a reason security on you.
Okay. How many dice?
2 task roll, complication range of 2. Do you have any relevant focuses? Ooh, so you have an immediate complication. While they're shouting and stuff, you first of all you succeeded in your task, but the immediate complication we'll get to. But like talk to me again. What specific information? Like list to me what specific
Uh,
information.
I have starship security systems as a focus.
Okay.
So and
Well-
starship weapon systems. So basically, it's in a typical before we get into combat thing. It's I want to know if the ships have their shields up or not.
Yes.
What the weapon complement is for each ship,
Okay.
so I can assess who's the bigger threat.
Okay. Let me. I'm just doing one thing at a time with you, so I don't get
Yep.
too screwed up. Let me pull those sheets up so I can give you that information. Where are their ships? There they are. Okay. So the and then these two are just basically the same, so I don't need to pull it up twice. Okay. So. The Burrells, the Burrell vertebrates, they're basically about but I forgot that. Sorry. I'm just like working through specific things. Okay, you know that the Cavort, and you may just know this instinctually, the Cavort is the bigger threat. It has a higher weapon capability rating than the Brel. The Brels are much smaller. They have the Brels have disruptor cannons instead of just disruptors. Which the cannon works differently than just a beam disruptor. So it's like the different like back in like a disruptor cannon's like almost like an older weapon, if that makes sense. But a regular disruptor is like a phaser, or it's like just having like a phaser bank, essentially. But yeah, so short answer, Cavort absolutely is the more powerful one. Though the other two are they're nothing to scoff at. And by the way, they are both, actually the Burrells are scale 3. I said 2 earlier, they're both scale 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then the scale of the Cavort is 5. So it's bigger, obviously. It's physically bigger and just bigger. So yeah, the Cavort's the bigger threat. And that is the one that the hail's coming from, so you know that this guy is on that particular ship. And what's your next question?
The last one was, do they have any target locks at the moment?
No, they do not. From what you can
Okay.
tell. They don't. Now, here's a complication right away. They saw your scan. And so suddenly in the middle of this shouting match, he looks, it's like he turns his head to the one that's the Shran that's on Captain Bierce. He's like, and you, who are you to scan me? And so he's got somebody shouted something at him, and he turns his head to that side of the monitor, and he looks at you, Bears, even though he's looking at both of you at the same time. But he physically turned to you.
He's looking at his picture, like now he's looking at my side.
Yeah, exactly.
Captain Beers of the USS Shran, caught in the middle of all of this, just trying to get home. That's why I wanted to extend my own offer or my own discussion about calming this whole situation down. There's no need for us to start punching wildly at ghosts, especially when we just got here.
Somebody else shouts something at him in Klingon. And Shigar, what you can tell that they're saying, you can tell everything they're saying between each other. I mean, the translator picks it up too, but not so. It's like it's focused on the captain, so it's kind of focused on him. But Shigar, you do hear one Klingon shouting about the Shran being like that captain, like they're shouting about how that captain's no longer, and like they're logicking out of the Shran is an old ship, but it doesn't look old. It's not. And of course you told him this a little bit. And so they're all kind of putting it together, and then now he sort of says, "That's why you took my chrono deflector." And then he looks more pointedly at Shran on the screen, and he sees Shakar in the background. And then he starts like erupting in a flurry of cursing, and he like sort of slams something. It hangs up the hail, and the Klingon ships are about to, like, you know on instinct that what's happening is those Klingon ships are about to attack. Now, because you gathered information, Shran, Captain Demon, the initiative is yours. We are going into starship combat now, ladies and gentlemen. So here, how's this going to work is each character gets a turn, but that turn, what happens with that turn is determined by your captain. So, Captain Beers, first of all, I don't think any of you have relayed, have any of you relayed what information you have gathered so far to the captain?
Well, I kind of set out like
right, you knew.
on the
So
console
this is
to-
your
to
opportunity.
them.
This is your opportunity
Yeah.
to catch up with what they've done. First, I'll give you that for free.
I have a.
Good.
I was saying no. I have a pretty established history at this point of constantly sending messages to the captain's, console there.
The hotline.
So yeah,
We're basically using Google Docs.
We've established that as a habit of Shiv
Right.
at this point.
We've
I
been
don't think it's one he's gonna-
texting.
Yeah.
Right, yeah,
Yes.
he texts
Your
a
little,
lot.
your little, that little thing that's on the captain's chair, that little
Mm-hmm.
console. So Bears, you can reference to that immediately because you've gotten dings on it, and you've gotten them from Shiv, and I would assume the rest of y'all did that too. Y'all just went ahead and sent it. So you basically have a report. You have multiple reports saying, like, we figured out that the thrusters are bad, are vulnerable. Shiv has he has the opportunity to make a target lock. And then what else did we gain? And then of course the information Shiv wanted. And yeah, so you have all that information that was just like kind of worked through a second ago.
Yep. And then at the end of all that, Captain, you just have a simple one line at the bottom that says recommendation: keep the Enterprise between us and the Cavort. Focus down the two Burrells.
Okay.
So Captain Beers, you can give. Here's the way this is going to work. You can give.
Does he end the conversation when that happens, or is this in the middle of this conversation? That's just one.
Yeah, like the moment when I said he slammed his hand, that was him ending the hail, and then all those ships are like starting to gear up for combat. But the advantage that has been created through what's done by your crew is that you have the initiative. And of course, a place to lock target.
Okay, so do we have a target lock on the smaller ships or just the larger ship?
It's for the larger ship that the weaknesses were pointed out. So you can target lock there, or you can forward that information. You can order somebody to forward that information to the Enterprise.
I was actually gonna suggest in character that do we link up our tactical systems with the Enterprises so we know who they're targeting and they know who we're targeting and vice versa?
No, because they're on Windows 11.
Yeah, or on Windows 7.
No, y'all are on like Windows 98, which was the superior Windows. No,
SE maybe.
Second edition. Yeah.
So the second the call cuts out, I'm going to say
it cuts out between y'all and him. That doesn't mean y'all aren't still connected to the Enterprise.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all can just remain connected to the Enterprise.
That's fine. I'm gonna immediately say, Voss, get that targeting data to the Enterprise and get me as much power as possible. Shiv, fire at will at the smaller vessels. The rest of you, keep the Enterprise between us and them as much as possible.
Okay.
And look, Jagar, give me anything you can on any information from the Klingons.
Okay. So You each have an order. I'm just gonna go in the order of, I'm gonna go from. I don't, because there's no point in having y'all have an initiative since y'all are on this. Who wants to go first?
I figured I'd ordered Voss first, so
Yeah,
I figured
so Voss.
Voss would go first.
So Voss, what was the task you needed to execute? Sorry, it's so much.
Send the tactical information to the Enterprise.
Okay,
or
that's
attempt a cross-generational link-up.
Yeah, that's okay. We're gonna say that is a. I need to look at a character sheet. I'm gonna say that is a control. Man, I wish like comms or something.
Control con, probably.
Yeah,
Con.
control con. The control con.
The things I'm worst at.
Yeah, control con. Complication range like 0. Difficulty 0.
I do have Starfleet Protocol as a focus. Can I use that?
Yes. I think, yes. That sounds fine.
Okay.
But go ahead and roll that. I'm trying to get down to see if I see your thing go off. Roll it. Did you? Oh, there you go. Okay, so you've created 2 momentum for the pool, everybody. 2 momentum added to the pool. And I encourage each of you, by the way, to have that on the journal, that combat tasks and minor action sheet open. That will be helpful to you in this
cheat sheet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As well as the starship combat momentum spins. Because and then, by the way, if there's an R in the cost of the momentum spins, that means it's repeatable. So you can do it in the same round multiple times.
Okay.
So you are wildly successful in finding out, what was it again? I'm sorry.
Sending the information.
Yeah. The Enterprise gets it, and you've now created you basically created an advantage for the Enterprise. The Enterprise knows where to hit. So, and the Enterprise, we'll probably do the way I'm going to do initiative is y'all go, and then the Enterprise goes, and then the Klingons go, just for easiness for me. I don't feel like rolling initiative today. Anyway, what was it? What was that, Paul?
Oh, I ordered YOLO to keep the Enterprise between us and the enemy ships.
Yeah, let me look at that. That is, let's see.
To keep the Enterprise between us and the Cavort.
Yeah.
So basically, we'll be dancing around the Enterprise, trying to get shots on the 2 Burrells, while keeping the Cavort from having a clear line of fire to us.
Yeah. I'm trying to find. There's actually a specific action. So this is basically you're calling for essentially an evasive maneuver. Oops, I did not mean to close roll 20. What was I thinking? Let me reopen close tab. Dang it, I hate when I do that. In fact, I have the book right here. I can also have this shit open right in front of me. So with that said, does somebody want to get YOLO's sheet out for me? I would really appreciate it.
I got it.
Thank you. Let me find that specific. I've been looking at this chapter like crazy today, so I know like what page it's on. Which is
if I remember correctly, based off of the cheat sheet.
Yeah, it makes it harder for y'all to get hit, but it also makes it harder for you to hit.
Yeah, but I'm applying this directly. The idea is we're applying this directly to the Cavort class, so we're not going to get hit by the Cavort. We're not even
exactly. It would be harder for us to hit the Cavort, but not necessarily for us to hit the other target.
Thank you for pointing that out. That is a fair thing to point out. So let me find my little Here we go. Tactical. Let's look at con, main engineering, internal systems, maneuver, helm. Here we go. Maneuver the flight controller.
It's like command con.
Evasive action.
Or control con.
Okay, so The difficulty of 1, assisted by the ship's structure and con. If successful until the flight controller's next turn, all attacks against the ship by the cavort in particular, and all attacks made by the ship increase. So the cavort's going to have an extra difficulty in trying to get you, but you also took cover. Actually, this might apply differently. There was a thing about this I saw today.
Well, that's mostly for melee attack or for like.
No, that
attacks.
works in space too. I mean, think about it. You can take cover in space if you're in the right place.
Yeah,
For
we're
now-
using the Enterprise F for cover.
Yeah.
From the cavort.
For now, you know what I'll do is I'll award it 2 difficulty if she's successful. So
Okay.
for YOLO, will you please roll me? And can somebody else pull out the Shran and roll for it?
What do you
So-
need on it?
1 second.
I'll do this round.
So
You got it?
daring
Okay.
and con task for YOLO,
Okay.
and structure and con for the ship. And remember, the ship only gets 1 die.
Yep.
And this is going to cost a
2-0.
power for the ship. So somebody mark off a power. Y'all have like
Yeah, got
15
it.
power, so y'all are good.
Yep. You're now at 14.
So she was successful, and it was a difficulty. I'm going to say, yeah, it was a difficulty of 1, so you have 1 more momentum. And then because the ship was also successful, that's 2 more momentum to the pool for y'all. And again, it's the difficulty of the cavort hitting y'all is now a 2. But the difficulty for y'all hitting the cavort is also a 2. So it's evened out.
We'll let the Enterprise deal with the cavort.
Okay, excellent. And so what's the next task here, Captain? What's the next thing to achieve? Again, you should have 4 momentum in your pool, right?
Yeah, Shiv. I ordered Shiv to shoot the one of the smaller
Okay.
ships.
So Shiv, let's look at tactical. Okay, Shiv. So you're gonna fire a weapon. Which weapon are you going to fire?
I'm going to fire phasers.
All right.
And I've got focuses in Starship Weapon System, Starship Tactics, Phaser Heavy Weapons.
Yeah, you're you were totally using a focus in this roll.
Fire at will, yeah.
So what you're gonna roll and what you're gonna end up rolling is a control and security task with what's the minimum difficulty? I believe the minimum difficulty for this would be a 1. So, but let me double check. Real quick. I have a cheat sheet for that too. I'm so smart sometimes. Oh no, it's a base of 2. So the base task difficulty is 2. So you need to achieve a 2. And then yeah. So again, the ship is going to need to roll a weapons and security, and this will also cost a power. So
Right.
Shiv, control security, please.
So what do I set the complication the task roll to?
It's just for attacks, we're just gonna go with a general like complication of 1 for now, unless otherwise stated.
And the task roll stays as a 2? Or
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, I think we're supposed to for attacks. It's supposed to for successes. It's a 2, if I remember correctly. Or 1.
Yeah, he
And
needs
then-
to get a 2.
And then do I add any of my focuses or talents?
You
to
just
this?
on that thing that says focuses, just make sure you click yes on that. Make sure the
Okay.
yes is selected. And do you have any talents that are relevant to ship combat?
I have fire at will.
Let me look at your sheet so I can see how that one works. Shiv.
I have fire at will, and I think it
Ah.
doesn't actually tell me what these do.
It makes a ranged weapon attack and then uses a swift task momentum spin to make a second ranged attack. They ignore the normal difficulty increase from. Okay, so you can choose to use that, of course. And the way that works is, again, that's one of those. I believe the combat momentum spins. So the character may attempt 1 additional task, increasing the difficulty by 1 over what the task. So basically, you can make a second attack in this round, but it will be a difficulty of 3. So let's get through your first one first, if that's cool, and then we'll work on the second one. Okay, cool. So go ahead and roll your control security. Ooh, boy, you're doing good. And then the weapon, the ship. So the ship didn't get anything, but he put 1 more in the momentum pool. with that roll. And let me actually roll. Let me pick a cavort, and I got to roll for it because combat is like an opposed task.
Mhm.
Actually, if it's a difficulty of 2, then that means it's
Burrell.
successful, wasn't it?
Yeah, we're not
Yeah.
we're not attacking the covert. We're attacking this one.
No, sorry, the
Yeah.
Burrell. I know. I get my words mixed up. So this is an opposed. Starship combat isn't opposed, right, Paul?
No, it's only melee combat that's opposed.
Thank you. Yes,
it's-
that's correct. Okay, cool.
So how Starship combat works is you fire and then you see if it you check its resistance.
Yeah.
If you fire and you hit, then you check its resistance.
Yeah,
and then
like
you
this
destroy
first
them.
roll was to determine if you were successful in making a hit, and then we're
Mhm.
gonna now roll your damage, your Starship damage, which we'll have Darj roll because I guess he has
Yep.
it open. So roll the phaser phaser array, please.
How many? Currently it's filled in with 1. Do I just do 1?
Yes.
Okay.
Whatever Okay. Ooh, Lord. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So that is 13 damage. Let me look at this bird of prey that I have. I'm going to pick number 1.
But that means, oh right, it would have been 6 effects if we had effects, right?
Yes, and our
Yes.
effects, because we're shooting phasers,
the quality's
usually-
versatile, so it means that you've added momentum to the pool.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
You add whatever
your
number.
momentum bar's full, guy. I'm just saying
Yeah.
it's full.
I
That's
gotta
all.
start
Yeah.
spending the momentum.
Well, if
Yeah. Well,
if we're
here,
gonna-
let's do one thing at a time. Let's do one thing at a
Yeah.
time. Let me get through because there's people here who haven't done this before. So, okay, you've done a lot of damage. So what did I say? It was 13.
13.
Yeah, it's 13. So that thing has a scale of 3.
Mhm.
And so that means, and it has shields of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It has 9 shields and 3. So that means 12. So you have
Mhm.
hit it for 1 point of damage, but you've completely taken out its shields. You have annihilated its shields in
Okay.
one swift
Is
motion.
resistance the same as size?
Yes, its
Yes.
size is it determines its resistance.
Scale and
So if it's-
resistance, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
some ships do have a higher resistance because of certain talents.
Mhm.
Um,
I think Klingon ships do, but I don't know about that. Some Klingon ships.
this
do.
one
They just-
doesn't. This one doesn't. It has improved reaction control, which I don't know where I put that, but I described that somewhere. I have that somewhere on here, actually. I might as well pull it up. But yeah, that thing just immediately cloaks, and you don't know where it went. It's not happy. I mean, it's like it sputtered and went hoot, and then yeah, it's gone.
It gets to do that even though my turn's not done.
Yeah, it's because I think we're going to spend momentum to keep going because that was his talent.
Yeah,
was to
so
let-
you
let
get
the
to
double
yeah,
shoot.
so you get to spin. So now you can use your second attack that we were getting ready to do. Now it's going to be a difficulty of 3, but you can attack that other cavort right away.
Okay, so I can't
Well.
attack. I don't get to do the second attack on this one because it got to
Yeah,
it got
it's
to cloak in the middle of my turn.
yeah. Because
Doesn't
you
have
hit
to
it,
wait
you
till
hit
my
it,
turn's over?
you punched it so hard that it's gonna go back to its house, and its mom's gonna tell you it can't play with you anymore. Like,
Okay.
it is, yeah. It like I said, shields were down. Now, if you want, you can make a shot in that same spot. If you want, you don't know how far or how fast that thing's gonna move, so you can
I see.
gamble.
Right. No, I just didn't realize they could do things on our turn. Seems odd.
It's odd, but as a game master, I also have to be like, oh shit, this logically the Klingons are out of it. It's just I mean, technically your turn, all this is happening at the same time. So like, I'm kind of in a way. I mean, if you want, I'll leave it. Actually, you know what? You're right. That's a really good point. I'm gonna leave it there. It hasn't cloaked. Well,
Okay.
you make a really good point. You make a good argument. So let's just say, yeah, it's like everything is reduced on it, and you actually did for what it is. It is a breach. Did you want to like say that you were aiming at anything in particular, Shiv?
I think
I would have
I
been.
would have.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
No,
If
go
if it, is my turn happening at the same time? Because or do we go in sequence for the combat? Because I would have been probably scanning, trying to find an area for him to focus on,
That's a good point.
like a thruster or a particular thruster that's weaker than the others, or something. But
Yeah, we're just going in the order of what Paul gave us, what we all to do, but I will advise in the future, give your firing order last, just so
Okay.
that
Es-
anybody can give whatever. that's
Especially
best.
now that one of the ships is, quite disabled. Maybe if something came up with the scans, we could apply it to the other identical ship as a
Okay.
weakness. That's that sort of thing.
We're not gonna need it. We're just gonna kick these fuckers' asses.
pretty
You're all
much.
over.
For
overthinking it.
now,
I'm just gonna-
let's
just gonna kill them all.
let's keep the turns in
Yeah.
the order they're in, just for the sake of like getting through this turn. So, but where would you have focused fire? Just
I would have
offhand.
focused on the engines.
Okay, cool. So the engine has a breach. Boom, boom. So this is the next attack. So same as before. I believe it was control security for you.
Yeah. Before I do, what? Do I have any use for momentum? We've got this full
Yes.
momentum.
You're about
bar,
to
and I don't
spend
know
2
what-
for your swift task.
I'm gonna
So
spend.
you can spend another one to increase the number of dice you're rolling as well.
Yeah,
So,
you can.
as you
And
guys
you,
suggest.
yeah, you can. You can also spend 1 for penetration. The damage inflicted by the current attack ignores an amount of the target's resistance equal to 2.
Okay.
So you
Okay,
can
so
reduce
I-
its resistance to 1, 2.
Okay, so here's what I like to do. I got to spend. We've got a full momentum bar, which is 6, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
All right. So, and I have to spend 2 in order to have my second attack.
Yes, I believe so. Let me look at your
I think it's something
ability.
like where he can do it for free, or he can do it with limited, with only 1 momentum spend, or something like that. So, but I have to double check.
Tracking multiple targets, whenever the character makes a ranged weapon attack and then uses a swift task momentum to make a second, they ignore the normal difficulty. Oh, that's okay. So you don't have a difficulty of 3. So you still only have a difficulty of 2. That's the advantage of Fire at Will. So you still have to spend on the swift task, but you aren't. Pardon me. You aren't getting. I didn't read that right, but you aren't getting that increase by 1 for the swift task. So it's
So
still at a difficulty of 2.
Anyone can spend 2 momentum to keep the initiative, but the difficulty goes up, but doesn't for you because of your talent. Is
Gotcha.
that it?
Yeah.
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 All right.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
So it's still a difficulty of 2, same roll as before. Control security,
Okay. So I want to spend the 2 to take the second hit.
of course.
I want to spend a third to get an additional die,
Okay.
and I want to spend a 4th for additional penetration.
Oh my god. Okay. Let me ask you, are you spending this die for an extra like die to see if you succeed, or an extra bonus like damage or damage die?
I have the choice.
Yes.
All right. 1 to succeed,
Okay, 1 to
and
succeed.
then a 5th one for extra damage.
Oh my god. Oh, you are
Use it
gonna
if you got 'em.
destroy the ship. Okay. Bear with me. I haven't had this many requests in one order, so to speak. So, like, let me
Shiv mad.
one thing at a time. So, okay, Shiv, roll control security. Same as before. Difficulty of 2.
But I need to add a die.
Yes, add a third die, please.
So task roll goes up to 3 now.
Yes, for you.
Okay. So control security.
Okay, you've succeeded and added 1 more to the momentum pool, and now 2 to the God damn. I thought I set up a difficult encounter for y'all. Okay, so that's 4 successes. That's added 2 back to the momentum pool. What was your next
Welcome
spin?
to my world. Welcome to
so-
my world.
I know.
And then the other one was for additional penetration,
And you wanted a bonus. You wanted bonus damage.
and
die,
then
right?
bonus damage. Yeah, and then
Okay,
bonus
so
damage.
let me look at penetration.
The damage inflicted by the current attack
Okay,
ignores an
yeah,
amount
so
of the
Equal to
equal
2
to 2 or
for each. So how many momentum did you spend? They have
1
3
for that.
resistance.
I'm
One.
spending 5 total.
No,
and
no,
we
no,
just
no,
earned
no,
2.
shh. Penetration. Penetration,
Oh.
you can spend more than 1 die. 1 die gets you
Oh, I can.
2 resistance ignored.
And it has how much resistance?
3.
3. And let's spend 2.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it literally has -1 resistance. Okay, I'm literally just gonna put that in the sheet just so I can remember this day.
You're gonna tear up the
Remember-
sheet in seconds.
Remember as well that any attack on an unshielded ship is going to as an automatic breach. It
Yeah.
automatically breaches whatever it hits, plus it breaches forever damage every
And the
certain
s-
amount of
and the
damage it gets.
size, the class of the ship is amount of breaches it needs to be incapacitated, right?
Incapacitated.
Yes. Okay, one thing at a time, y'all. Okay, so it's penetrated deeply. Don't say what
Oh
that's what
my.
she said. Yeah. It's deeply penetrated. Boom, boom, boom. Sorry, I'm just looking. Okay, so. And then you're gonna have a. Okay, so Darj, will you roll phaser array damage, please? And then
With an extra.
Disco, I'll let you do this one. Disco, go to that challenge dice and put a 1 in there. And then get away, like click away from it so your cursor still isn't on it, because that's usually the issue with that. And then roll that
so we
challenge dice.
I ignore.
Yeah.
Okay, so you didn't
Okay.
get any extra damage off of that, but 2, 1, wait, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11. So automatically it suffered another breach. And then it suffered 2 more breaches. Ladies and gentlemen, that ship is destroyed.
Just blows up.
Yeah, I believe if you have, what was it, Paul? You were saying breaches equal to its scale. I have that chart
It's
somewhere.
equal. It's equal to its scale is destroyed. So we just destroyed its engines if we hit it 3 times. But if you hit it more than it's destroyed. And since we're not focusing, and since we focused it on its engines, I believe that it could have a warp core breach. So
Yeah, it's suffering a warp core breach. It's about to go. Okay.
yeah.
So Shiv, you have succeeded in tearing its ass up. So, in
So-
one turn.
So we had 6 momentum. I spent 5, but we gained 2, so we have 3 momentum now.
Actually, we gained 3 more momentum because each of those
Yeah.
chevrons count as 2 momentum. So we actually gained a total of 6. We basically just
You just keep
recharged.
you were just
Recharged at
replenishing the
100%.
momentum pool like a fountain.
Right. Got it.
All right.
Yeah.
Are you done?
I believe it is.
Mess
My
with
pyro-
the tongue cut, you get the poop, man.
I can't use that talent more than once in a turn, can I?
No.
I
No.
don't think you can. I think you can. I
You're
think you can
done.
seize initiative only once. I think
Yeah, and
You only do it once.
he can't hold we can hold the initiative for the ship, right? Y'all
Yeah.
can keep the initiative for the ship, and please don't let the Enterprise do something, please. Thanks.
Well, they gotta take out the kavote.
Yeah,
The board,
Yeah.
right?
yeah. And so the next person, so who hasn't gone yet? I don't believe. I know that
It's Uvana.
Shikar and Muvana. So which one was
Yeah.
next, Captain? Which one was next?
I was gonna say Uvana.
Okay.
Shigar, I was basically asking Shigar to like listen into their comms and see if she can't get.
Okay,
some
let's
info-
go with
information.
let's do Uvana. So Uvana, what did you order her to do? What was it? Scanning and figuring things out.
Scan. Find me weaknesses.
Okay.
Mhm.
Um,
So I would scan the other ship, obviously, the other smaller ship.
the other smaller ship.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. Same as I believe before. Let's do science, inside science. Do you want? Let's.
And I do have rapid analysis. Does that apply here for talent?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So you're as a talent or focus.
That's a talent.
Okay,
As
let
far
me
as
pull up your
focus,
sheet so I can see what that does with you. Time challenge using the science discipline.
I think that's mostly for time challenges.
That's it for a time challenge.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes
I'm
we
looking
have
at
to do
your
tasks.
other.
Yeah,
I'm
sometimes
looking
we
at
have
your
tasks that
others.
are like that require us like to do it in a certain time, and every time we mess up, it like time wastes. So you can use that for like.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I'm looking at your talents real quick to see if any of them apply here.
I'm gonna step away for a few minutes. Be right back.
I mean, you could use the one that generates more momentum, but that would kind of be a moot point because you can't go beyond 6.
Mhm.
You could do. I mean, if you want to use bold science, you could. I would say in the case of what's going on, like your talents at the moment, like the most relevant talent to use would be bold science.
Okay.
But you know, that would only be if you wanted to buy a D20, because like say you didn't succeed, you could buy that D20 with threat and re-roll a D20. So that's more of like if you didn't do as well as you wanted, you can use that one.
Okay.
So let's go. Yeah, let's go ahead with that reason, or pardon me, that insight science, or would it be reason or
And that
insight?
should be again the complication range 2 task roll of 2.
Yeah,
obviously, right?
yeah. So yeah, there you go. Ooh, okay. So
Ooh.
you didn't. Would you like to use your bold science?
Yeah, let's go
talent?
ahead and do that.
Okay, so I get a threat, and you may re-roll that 0.
There we go.
Okay. Excellent. Actually, whenever you attempt a task with science and you buy one or more D20s by adding, so you could actually still, you know, you actually bought an extra die anyway. Oh no, wait, whatever. We're just gonna leave it the way it is. So you succeeded, and you replaced that 0. So what's going on now is, you find that one has, it has actually it has a pretty, it's I'm trying to think of a system I want it to be. Its computer system is actually like on the fritz. You can tell that something happened to it recently, like it had like a, what do you call it, like recently, like it had some kind of virus or something come through it, and it's still like it's still got a bug in it that they haven't found that you can see. So with that said, you could, in the next round, you could tell Shiv that, and he could attack the computer system. Like it's like physically, the bug, that the virus that's affected it has weakened the system overall. Like it's like burning out. It's making it run hotter than it should. And so it would be very easy for him to overheat in a shot.
So they got a crypto miner running in the background.
Yeah. Yeah. It's mining a digital latinum.
You absolutely know the
Oh my
Klingons are
god,
just fucking
that's
super
totally
heroes.
what the Ferengi
The
would have
Ferengi
done.
would, yeah, 100%. They're Ferengis.
100%.
What are you
And,
talking
NFT
about?
market.
NFTs are an excellent investment opportunity. Sorry. Oh,
One
man.
area
Do I
where the
need-
Klingons and the Ferengi really get along.
Yeah, because the Ferengi dumbfound the Klingons into doing dumb shit with their money. We are not the people of
That-
Latinum.
As Jagar was listening to that last ship explode, she heard, "My apes!"
All right. All right. So, and did you have any
Retards.
minor actions or anything that you were doing, Uvana? Or did you?
Can I just immediately like send that as a message over to Shiv, or do I have to
Yeah,
wait till
that's
next turn?
no, you don't have to roll for
All
that.
right.
That's an
It'll be
ongoing.
like,
If your communication system was affected, yeah, I would make you do something about it. But no, you're fine. That's literally a
just a very quick
non-task.
message.
That's like
Hey,
that's a
Shiv,
minor
how's
action.
the battle going?
That's a
Shiv-
minor action. Yeah.
Shiv
Yeah,
just gets the
okay.
message and is like, "A chance to reset their computers to default."
There you go.
Oh my god.
Start targeting.
Okay. So, okay, here we go. So the next person is Shahar. What are you gonna try to extrapolate that, you know, I know the captain wanted you to find information or something like that. I want to know how
There
you
is an
went about it.
action. There's a couple of
Yeah, I got
of
comms
actions.
open right here. Let me look at comms. Well, she's
It's
operations
intercept.
comms.
Like,
Yeah.
is there even a ship left for me to?
Yeah, the second one hasn't been attacked yet. He just destroyed the first one, so the second
Okay.
one is totally okay. Let me find. By the way,
It's-
Shikar, you are not only like kind of like I don't want you to feel like you're relegated to comms all the time and repeating back
Sure.
stuff to people. You at your console, you not only are regulating like comms between ships, but also internal comms. So if there's like if there's something going on the ship that the captain needs to know, you'll be the first to like understand that information. But you can also be the person like you can manage operations overall. Like I know Shiv is the second the first officer, pardon me, but you're kind of the second officer in this game, and you with being a fleet liaison, like you kind of run logistics and operations for the fleet in general in the area,
Sure.
in the sector, but you also by proxy are kind of the operations chief of the ship. So technically it's weird because like Shiv is like the first officer, so he's technically your superior like on the bridge, but when it comes to operation you are his superior because as the chief of security that falls under operations. So in that realm, in those two realms for each of your characters, he reports those. He also reports to you in terms of security and operations, if that makes sense. So y'all are kind of like this all the time.
All the time.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to find.
So
Ship
it's
has
you're-
absolutely no ego about that whatsoever.
You can
None
do
at all, I'm
okay.
sure.
Here's some things that are available to a communications area is hailing frequencies open, of course, which I don't make y'all roll for because I think that's weird to do. Respond to hail, again, y'all don't roll for that. Intercept, you can intercept the communications of the Klingons between each other. You can also jam their communications, and you can give damage reports too. And then
Repeat what the computer says.
And repeat with the computers.
well, damage report actually has some specific ability where it basically lowers because if we get hit and get damaged, it actually lowers the time
which
or the.
at this time there's no
response.
damage to report, right?
Right.
So
At this point, I probably want to try to intercept communications.
okay, because that kind of falls into what the captain wanted you to do.
Right.
Okay, cool. Let's
Again,
see.
you just hear my apes.
My targs.
Okay, so for intercept, you need to roll an insight and engineering task. This is going to be a difficulty once again of 2 because Klingons do not have the best communication systems.
Does the ship help?
Yes, the ship assists with communication security.
Okay.
Okay. And
There is a focus used for the ship. I'm guessing the ship has no focus this year.
oh, that's right. Am I rolling am I rolling on the ship?
You're
no,
roll-
I'm rolling
okay,
you're
myself.
rolling-
Roll
wrong.
yourself with
Yeah.
insight engineering first. I mean, pardon me. Sorry,
Okay.
they're not insight engineering.
Task roll 2.
Yeah, it's actually insight engineering for task roll 2 for you. Yeah.
Okay.
Which is interesting. So you succeeded, ship. Okay, another. Well, I guess y'all are full, so y'all don't. That doesn't really do anything. So what you're able to determine is that the 2 ships that are left, they're obviously like son of a bitch, like because of that the Brel was taken out very quickly. And then what you can the chatter you're hearing between them is you can tell that Koroth is ordering his people to maneuver around and target the Shran and not the Enterprise. So what you've garnered from that those communications is that they are about to come around and they're about to hit you with disruptors once they get a chance. But again,
So we just aggro
Shiv
them.
and who else? The captain and y'all know too that their thrusters aren't the best. So with all that put together, you know it's not necessarily going to be easy for them to get around the Enterprise, which you may have the opinion that it's kind of a dumb move on their part, but you know that's up to you.
Sure. I mean, couldn't we circle around? Like now that we know this, should we?
Yeah,
can, like,
you
literally,
could recommend to the
Can
captain
we just
what you
like
think.
do a circle around the Enterprise? Like we're just like chasing each other,
Right. Yeah,
until
you could recommend that to the captain. So
we catch up to their thrusters. And
yeah,
then
so role
shoot
play it
their
out to the
frickin'
captain.
Thrusters.
Yeah, role play it out to the captain. So you turn to the captain.
Captain. So the Burrell is making a move
Cavort.
to
The
come
Cavort.
around the Enterprise.
The Cavort's making
and
the move.
oh, the
pardon me.
Cavort.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right. I'm sorry. They're
Yeah.
making a move to come around the Enterprise and attack us. We need to get out of their path. I recommend we circle around and try to get behind them to take out their thrusters.
I look over at Shiv as this, because I think that's part of the plan already. We're already trying to keep the
Yeah,
ships
you
from
can
hitting us
you
in
can
the-
keep rotating around the Enterprise if you want.
But
or
our
you
goal
can-
it wasn't originally to take them out. It was to just get out of. But we
Yeah,
also need to
I'd
get
like-
out of the way for the Enterprise. Like
Yeah.
we can also communicate this information to the Enterprise.
Yeah, you'll have
Yeah.
like open comm line. Like anything they're doing and anything you're doing is kind of like being heard on both ends. That doesn't necessarily
so-
mean, you know, you're constantly more actively listening to it constantly, but where it's relevant, you can ask me what's the Enterprise doing or whatever.
I was going to say, can the Enterprise help us? In
Yeah.
this moment.
Yeah,
Like,
Bosch.
what's going on
At this
on
point, we're
their
still in the first
comms?
round.
Yeah.
What's their
Yeah.
We're
what's going
still,
on on their
we're
comms?
still in the first round. We haven't even gotten to the Enterprise or the Klingon ships yet. So yeah, go ahead. So Captain, what are you doing here?
I say, Captain Baj, you heard that, right?
Of course, we will continue to provide cover as best we can, Captain.
I kind of nod towards the Kmetrikar, and and I guess that's the it.
Shiv, a little less under his breath than it probably is, goes, just keep being a wall. We'll take care of the rest.
Baz just at you. There's something, and Shiv, you may have started to notice this. Baj doesn't have an open contempt for you, but you're definitely not her favorite among the Shran crew. There seems to be something. You may not understand it because you don't know the context, but you can probably in your mind suspect that at some point, you two meet and it doesn't go well to some degree, or there's something going on there. She's very curt with you, whereas everybody else, she's pretty, hey, what's up?
And
Jagar
to Shiv's mind,
pick up?
that's his favorite thing about her.
I was going to say, am I picking up on that? Because like early on in this whole thing, like in our open, like Jagar was, Baj was clearly talking to either me or Shiv. And I'm starting to get the feeling that she doesn't really like Shiv. So
again, it's not that she doesn't like him. It's just that she is, for some reason, is meaner to him than the rest of you.
Would I be starting, like I feel like like my social capital cultural savvy here may be picking up on this and wondering if
there's something to that. There's a story there that, for all you know, may come to fruition in y'all's future, right?
Yeah.
Because remember, that the Baj in 2260 or 2369, the Baj wasn't even a thought yet in she was probably a thought in 2269, but not whatever. But Baj, remember what y'all and if y'all did at some point, we'll just say at some point, like maybe Shiv, you probably did pull up her service record that you have available, and what is she's a very recent transfer from on the exchange program. And Jagar just knows this from Scuttlebutt. But I imagine at some point during the beginning, you probably looked up Baj and tlhIngan. tlhIngan's not yet an officer at all in Starfleet. And Baj literally very fresh from the Klingon Federation officer exchange, like literally just a month or two before y'all got underway. Or like maybe, I don't know, 6-7 months at least. I don't know, a year, something like that. She's fresh, less than a year. Blah, 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 blah. So, y'all are done. Y'all done. Y'all done. All right. I don't know why I shut the book. What's wrong with me?
Because we're done.
I want to know. It's time for the Enterprise. So I'm going to show you all the Enterprise sheet. I don't have Shiv, I may borrow you as like the security officer, the tactical officer, so I may ask you to roll in place because I forgot to make for the Enterprise I forgot to make a tactical officer. So I'm just gonna assume that their tactical officer is basically as competent as you. Is that your
I
level?
wouldn't. I'm going to add like an additional challenge because they're not as competent as I am.
Confident.
You know what? You know what? You know what? I'll come up with actually something creative here. But give me a minute. Let me show y'all.
As we're circling around the Enterprise, along with the Klingon ship circling, can we randomly pick up a Benny Hill song from
Thank you.
Earth's ancient
Yes.
history?
Well, y'all haven't started doing that yet. Y'all have to wait till the next turn to pull that maneuver because
I was actually thinking of the Danube waltz, but you know.
yeah, because remember, like
Yeah.
at the same time that like at this like let's say it takes like that turn took like a full minute of activity to
Yeah.
actually, even though it took us like fucking hour to get through it. Like the Enterprise is doing its turn at the exact same time as is, so it you know how it goes. It's hard to put your head around sometimes. But let me find the Enterprise's sheet. So Shiv, again, I may borrow. Any of you, I need to hit a hole filled. I'll certainly use y'all's characters. So,
Excuse me.
I realized the moment I said it, I'm like, the first one to giggle is gonna be Darj. I just know it.
Freezing.
Y'all are inappropriate. Okay, can y'all all see the Enterprise now? It should be under GM stuff technically.
I can see the bio and info, but I
Yes.
can't see.
Oh yeah, because I need to make it to where y'all can control it. Here you go, all players. I'm just so you can see it. Okay, so the character sheet of the Enterprise, it's pretty. It has a captain's yacht, so that's pretty cool.
Woohoo!
So here we go. Captain Baj is going to basically, she is going to order tlhIngan first to find. And did I make a character? Yes, I did make tlhIngan. I'm going to share her with y'all too, so somebody can help me with her. Sorry. By the way, if any of you have figured out who tlhIngan is from canon, I'm impressed. Whether you're in chat or you're watching or you're one of my players.
I have an idea of who
I'll
it is,
tell
but
y'all at the end of the episode without y'all looking her up. I dare just don't look her up, and I dare you to try to figure it out for your own. Everybody, don't look it up. Okay, so she's basically tlhIngan is like her first officer / chief of science. So she's gonna basically ask tlhIngan to do a lot of the same things like that she asked before, like find a weakness, which God damn it, I lost that fucking page. But I wasn't far from it. I'm not far from it. Where was that? Why did I do that to myself? God. So tlhIngan's first act is going to be, sorry everybody. So y'all, they already know the thruster thing that y'all sent them. Yeah, so Baj is she's going to order for, she's not going to order, I guess she's not going to move the Enterprise. Because as much as I want her to do an attack pattern, yeah, whatever. So, sorry everybody. It's like I have to roleplay with myself right now, and it's kind of weird. Forgive me.
This Enterprise, excuse me, is the Odyssey class, right?
Yes, it's the Odyssey class. And please do not challenge my character sheet in the middle of the session, Darsh. Sorry, I'm just looking. Sensor operations, so sensor sweep, scan for weakness. Yeah, we're just gonna do that. So I'm gonna roll for her, unless somebody already has her open.
I'll roll for the ship.
You know, I had a bunch of focuses for her, and I don't know why they're not there. Oh well, I have that character sheet at home, so I'll just roll for her real quick since I have her open.
Okay.
She succeeded with the help of the Enterprise. Can somebody roll the Enterprise for I lost my spot. Sensor security, please.
Yep.
Okay, so the Enterprise crew has 1 momentum. So they've able, based on what information y'all already gave them, they actually figured out like kind of more pinpointed exact part of the thrusters, like the engines to fire on. And then they're gonna go ahead and what else are they gonna do? Sorry, I'm just like looking at the different departments and things that they can do. I'm gonna make the Enterprise a kind of a short attack compared to y'all's, because it has very pretty much on par with most of y'all's weapons, but it also has big booms if it needs it. I'm gonna say that she has actually 2 like she's just I won't need her. I may not need you for tactical, Shiv, because she is at heart she was a security officer. So I'm just gonna use her Baj's sheet, who I am also gonna share with y'all. That would be more appropriate. Edit, and I will roll for Baj because she is my character. She is mine. Don't you roll for me. So what is attack, fire. What are her talents? She's supposed to have another talent, but I forgot to put it in. Oh well. Brocklul. She has. She's gonna precision targeting. When the character makes an attack that targets a specific, they may re-roll 1d20 in their dice pool, and gains the piercing damage effect. So, will somebody pull up the damage effects, like the damage effects and qualities for me on the handouts, and when I need it, I'll ask
Sure.
for piercing. So she needs to fire control security. I'm gonna roll for her with a 2. Yes, she absolutely has a focus in this. She probably has like a command or a tactical console. Oh, well, she did really bad. So she's going to at least reroll 1 of them. Jesus, Baj, you're not looking good right now. You're supposed to be like this legendary. Jesus. So completely fails.
All right, what does the ship roll?
She just starts smacking like her she sort of, and it really is her tactical officer that did it, but I'm just using her sheet. She just looks at them like with this great disappointment that she's just embarrassing her right now. The ship's roll is, pardon me, weapon security, please. Still not successful.
1 at least.
She's gonna, I guess. Oh, she's gonna order that officer to re-roll.
Oh right,
One of their
commanding
die.
officers can do that.
Mhm.
Is it the whole? Is it the whole roll, or is it just 1 die?
1 die.
Thank
It's 1
you.
die.
Motherfucker. Okay. Jesus. Okay, so totally non-successful, and I'm just gonna narrate through what they do next. They have so they send back to y'all the information that they found, like the exact pinpoint of where to hit the cavort in case you need it for later. Not that you're focused on the cavort now. She also orders her helmsman to basically continue to defend, like to make sure that they continue to maneuver in a way that protects y'all. And then what else? And then there's going to be a like, I'm just trying to think of things. Her ship actually. Well, I'm just gonna do this. Darj, will you go ahead and roll for the Enterprise? I'm gonna make a cyber attack, basically. So computers security. Roll a computer security for the ship, and then I'm gonna use tlhIngan's sheet actually because it makes more sense in this context. Even though she already kind of did a turn, but she's one of the few sheets I do have. God damn it. Son of a bitch, stop moving. Okay, where are you, tlhIngan? Shiv, I'm gonna shut you up. I have so many character sheets open. Oh, okay, there she is. And then she's gonna roll a control computer. She's gonna roll a control science. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, and then what do we get total? Okay, so they successfully make like a cyber attack at the cavort, and they basically it's gonna it's targeting. They're making like a cyber attack for its targeting system. So they're making it harder for that ship to hit them. So with all that said, let's go for Klingon attacks. Oh, lordy lord. Now I'll do all those myself.
So what they're doing basically is taking those NFTs, the apes, and turning all the icons on the targeting computer of the Klingon ship into those.
Yes.
Yes.
Turning
They're-
all of the
they're
icons
jacking
on the
everything up.
target computer.
You're
Uh,
hoping the
Yikes.
Klingons roll as badly as Baj.
Dude, I'm so embarrassed for her right now. I'm so mad. Okay, so we're gonna go with the Braille Bop one. And thank God it has a crew task roll on it because that makes it so much easier than me having. That's what I should. Yeah.
The Enterprise
So
should have that as well. If you set it into.
I know I said it as a star. I said it as a starship instead of an NPC starship.
Ah.
Okay, so it hits y'all. Okay, it hit y'all. And then its damage, it's going to use
with its even with its negatives, yeah.
disruptor cannons. Now remember, this is y'all destroyed the first one, so this is the second one. This is the one y'all haven't even touched yet. So
Okay,
it
this is the
does
Braille.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It does 6 damage because it has vicious 1 on it.
Mm-hmm.
So it does 6
Vicious
damage.
What does the vicious do?
It
It
does
adds-
6. Adds in 1
it-
damage.
Let me
Oh,
double
right.
check.
So
I think it
For
vicious,
each delta.
Yes.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 then.
Oh, did I
7.
count them wrong? Oh, sorry. So 7. It does 7 damage for y'all. What's y'all scale? Does anybody have y'all open?
It's
I
5.
do. It's 5, but we have 12 shields.
Right. So
So
I think it goes to
to
resistance. No, well, it goes. So yeah, it reduces your shields to whatever. Take 5
2.
away. Yeah, take 7 away from your shields. Okay, cool.
No, is it resistance first or is it shields first?
That's what I'm wondering.
Shields then resistance.
Yeah, shields and
It's
resistance.
Shields then resistance.
Oh, shields. then
Okay, so you're
resistance.
down to
Yeah.
2. And then let's go for, and then they're Klingons. They do a bunch of crap and they suck at it. So that's the end of their turn. So I'm just like this combat. This is the only thing I hate. Me personally as a role player, I get frustrated with combat sometimes because I think it takes too long. And I see now Paul struggle with combat sometimes because it takes a while to get into it. Blah 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 blah. Where's the cavort? Where's my cavort bird of prey? Oops. Cavort bird of prey. Okay, so the cavort bird of prey is going to, because it was already it was aiming up for y'all, but it has a really high difficulty in trying to shoot y'all. But it doesn't necessarily, it knows that, but it doesn't, because all this happens at the same time. So it's still going to try to shoot y'all. Let's do weapons, security, boom.
Still hits.
Sorry, no, it's resistance first, then shields. So it
Oh,
has
is
to
it?
get through our resistance first, and then.
Okay,
Shi-
so we'll adjust that accordingly. So you
Yeah.
only get 2 taken off your shields? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Boom, boom. So it hits you successfully still. And it's going to roll for disruptor damage. Man.
That's a lot of zeros. Thank God.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4,
8.
5,
Only 2 get through.
6, 7. Wait,
Yeah.
wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. No, 8, 9.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Right.
9. So, yeah.
4 shields dropped by additional 4 now.
Okay, so
Yeah, I got it down.
there you go. Okay, and then of course they, I'm actually gonna have them attempt a sensor sweep on y'all. Real
Oh,
quick.
can I disrupt that in any way, shape, or form?
No, not in this turn. It's their turn. So, let's do sensors, science. Don't worry, it's a Klingon ship. It's not gonna have a huge science rating. Literally has a science of 1.
It's not likely. It's a Nolan's
Woo,
class.
it's
And they get 2
successful.
criticals.
Okay, so does somebody want to roll me a 1d6 and I will determine what system of y'all's is likely the weakest at the moment?
Got it. Boom,
Google
6.
says 2. Oh, okay.
I'm gonna then it's communications. So they know that your communications is probably something to do with like the temporal thing. Your communications needs a little repair, but it's not anything big. You don't have any breaches or anything. So they know to target your communications right now. Yada yada.
I'd float the idea that they also know that we're in contact with we're coordinating with the Enterprise, so they want to like.
Yeah,
us death.
that too. That's actually a really good point. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
closing literally everything again just so I can kind of clean up my desktop and like put my tabs here. So it is back to you, Shran, Captain. Again, I advise that firing comes last, just because everybody else might have an interesting idea or something to do. So
All
here's
right,
where
let
you're
me
at.
role play this
Is
out. I
you?
got this.
Yeah, you know where you're
I got
at.
this.
Do it.
I got this. Okay. I go to Ivana. I say, Ivana, I need a firing solution on that other that other smaller bird of prey. I turn to Voss and say, Voss, get me more power. This is gonna take us a while.
What about the shields, Captain?
What's that?
What about the shields, Captain?
Get our shields back up if you can.
Actually, I'm gonna say in the case of generally. Oh wait, never mind. You're right. Sorry, I was looking. I had modulate shields in front of me, and that's a tactical action. But you're not modulating.
Shields
you're
are
just,
at 50%.
You're just trying to get.
That.
Yeah, you're trying to regenerate shields, which is an internal system / engineering. Never mind. You're good.
Yeah, and if you regenerate shields, you can do some certain funky stuff. He can do some funky stuff to get us more power back as well, if possible.
Yes.
Jagar, I want you to jam that the bigger ship. And Shiv, he turns to Shiv and just goes, "Do that again, but on that other ship, the smaller one."
The best defense is a good offense.
Isn't that other ship? Is the other ship still cloaked?
No, remember I redacted that because.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Because Disco
like
made a really good
ago.
point that it wasn't their turn yet and they can't cloak.
Yeah.
And he killed them before they could. So he got his way. He got his way. Okay, cool. So who was the first one that we were doing? It was Ivana? Was it Ivana? Okay. Yeah. What was Ivana's goal?
Find me weakness. Get me
okay
information on the smaller ship.
I'm gonna see.
And we do already know about the computer system, but scan again, right?
Yeah,
and that's for anything else.
Yeah, and that's specifically on this next ship. So if you want, I mean, you already gave a weakness to them, and maybe the captain's just kind of forgetting he's just in the heat of battle.
Well, no, because we know that was on the bigger ship, right?
No,
that was on the second.
Do you want to change your order?
Yeah, because I thought it was the bigger ship that they were looking at. Okay, find more weaknesses for the smaller ship. Or for the bigger ship. Yeah.
Okay, so you want to direct that to the Cavort. Okay, so we already know. No, wait.
Can I make a suggestion though to the captain? I would suggest I could work with Nolan to direct our shields since they're low as opposed to it just being an overall like glow at 50%. Can we focus them on the area that's facing the enemy ship?
If you can get me more defenses, get me more defenses.
Okay.
Let me see. I don't have a task laid out for that, but I can make one. So if that's what y'all decide to do. But so let's scan for your weaknesses, control and science, please, Miss Ivana.
Well, no, I think we're switching that to helping Voss out with the shields and trying to reinforce them in certain areas.
Right.
Okay, so let me see something real quick. I'm gonna just have you do an internal systems action then. Let me see if I can find something that's close to it. So I don't think there is. So what we're gonna do is you're going to basically I'm trying to like logic out how that's gonna work for her as a task and for him. Because they have two separate turns. And and one of you basically he's gonna assist her.
So should I scan as my turn, but then when
internal sensor sweep maybe would be the proper thing to do here. Let me find internal sensor sweep. That might be a communications task, but will for the purposes of what's happening. I think that'll be like the most like. It may not be exactly like the wording of it may
That's
not
security.
be correct. It's
That's
security. Why am I
Yeah,
not seeing
internal
that?
sensors. What we could do is just have
We
her
could use the
scan
same
for-
thing. Yeah. Yeah. Like.
We could have her scan for go ahead and scan for weaknesses, but also then assist because she can assist, right? Or maybe just have her assist.
No,
boss.
she's the one executing the task. This is her turn. So
Okay.
And then the assist would happen when it's Nolan's turn, right? Is
Yeah.
that
yeah, but that's relegating his turn to just an assist. If that's what y'all want.
oh
That's fine.
It also
I
a
figured-
secondary character can be the assister, like YOLO. So if somebody wants to pull out YOLO can be the one who assists. Because she navigates. I mean, she probably would have the ability to kind of. So either way, let's just go for like. Sorry, I'm looking. It's a unique.
We also haven't used Gator down in engineering yet.
Oh,
either.
you know what?
Yeah.
That's actually a really there's main engineering tasks, I think. Yeah, let's have a Gator assist with that because I think that makes it work out better.
Yes.
So Gator gets that, that thing. So let's go
I
with.
recommend General for Gator because it was her idea.
Yeah, it's your idea. Did y'all have access to him?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, he's in secondary characters or senior staff NPCs. Yeah. Okay, cool. So let's see. Let me open somebody's sheet just so I'm gonna open Uvana's sheet this time just so I can see. Yeah, so this is gonna be a science and reason because you're sort of logicking out what's going on here. Task roll 2, difficulty 1. Go for it.
This is Gator or Uvana.
This was Uvana. So for you,
Okay.
It'll be engineering reason, and it'll
task
be
roll 1.
a task roll of 1. Okay, and then the ship needs to roll.
Was that a Gator roll or your roll? Yeah, it was a Gator.
That was a Gator roll.
And then let's pull up the Shran so I can see its sheet again. Okay. The Shran needs to roll a poker face. Let's call it structure science. And again,
Okay.
1. Okay, so I don't know how much momentum y'all have currently, but you have generated 4. No, wait, 1, 2, 4. You've generated 4 new momentum. Jesus Christ.
We're still on.
I'm gonna have to use a threat. Like I'm gonna have to
Still
really
on
hit y'all
full.
hard in the next round. I went easy on y'all in the first one. Okay, so you did that, and you're able to like direct it to wherever you're getting fired on. Like wherever the Klingons fire on you next, you have a shield. Like the shields are buffed in that spot. So we'll say that you're the next the resistance to. We'll just use it in the resistance. Resistance will go up to 6 for the next attack directed at you.
Okay.
Okay.
sounds good.
But
Cool.
shields are still at a maximum of 6 right now.
Yes,
unless I
because
do
you
anything
haven't
about it.
regenerated
Right.
them, but just for the convenience of story, we're just using resistance. We're buffing your resistance temporarily.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, boom.
But I'm guessing that if we get hit from any other direction, our resistance would actually be lower.
Yeah, exactly. If you get if you get hit from which, again, for your next attack, you generally know who's going to attack you next, and those 2 ships are.
Unless there's others.
Yeah, remember one of them's trying to move around, so we'll see how that goes. If they move around and hit you, it will be a resistance of 4 in that case for y'all. All right, sweet. The Shran's power is really high, by the way. Like it's supposed to be a maximum of 15, but I think we need to be at like we did 2 attacks. Yeah, so let's
2 attacks plus maneuver, so that should be minusing to 12. Yeah.
Yeah, you're at 12 now.
Yeah.
Cool. So with that done, who was next?
I guess it's me on the shields.
Okay, regenerate shields. The officer about power, control engineering task with a difficulty of 1, assisted by the structure and engineering of the ship.
I've got EPS systems as a focus. Would that apply?
What is EPS? It's power. It's a power system.
Electroplasma power systems. Yeah.
Yeah, because that probably feeds the shields. Yeah, go ahead.
Yep.
You have a focus in this.
Okay.
So, okay.
And
then for the ship structure engineering, please.
Structure engineering.
I'm going to order you to re-roll that control engineering.
Well,
no, it's already successful, isn't it?
Yeah,
right.
It's successful. Yeah. It's successful. Yeah. It's just, yeah.
I remember correctly.
You get 2 points of shields back.
And he can.
And you can spend for every point of momentum spent. You can get 2 more back. So you can spend 2 momentum and get 4 back.
Sure. Yeah, I'll spend 2 momentum, so we're on full shields.
There you go. So you're back to full shields. Okay, who's next?
Momentum's at 4 now.
Who do we have next? Shikar?
I believe it was Shikar and then lastly Shiv, yeah.
Okay, cool. So Shikar, I believe that you were supposed to jam signals. That is control and engineering, please.
Oh wait, that's Gator.
You can also have Gator. You can have Gator help you if you want. I mean, he's already kind of like, you know, though he already did an assist. I don't really want to do another system. One thing, so yeah, control engineering.
Right. Task roll 2.
Yes.
Complication.
Oh, but by the way, to get the shields back up, I pulled the system. I pulled the power from replicators.
Okay.
Just
okay. So complication of 2, and your difficulty in this is going to be. And this is actually going to be your power requirement, so this is going to take 1 more power. So y'all just...
Did restoring the shields lose power as well?
Yes.
Yes, it does. It goes by 1.
So so this will be now 2. It should go down to 10 after her turn.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm looking at something. And the character chooses a difficulty of 1, 2, or 3. Actually, the character chooses. Success means that the target increases the difficulty of hailing frequencies open to respond and hailing tasks by the amount. So you select the difficulty on this, Shikar. 1, 2, or 3.
I mean, why would I make this difficult on myself?
Well, because the difficulty...
well, that's true.
The difficulty you choose reflects on their difficulty on their future tasks related to...
Sure.
Contacting one another.
Yeah.
Basically.
Okay. So we probably want to make it harder on them.
Yeah.
But I don't want to make it so hard that we might fail.
Like maybe a 2 then?
Maybe a 2.
Okay. Yeah, right in the middle. Okay,
you can always spend momentum to get an extra
Oh, that's true. We're at what, 4 momentum right
4.
now?
Yeah.
Okay. I can wait to do that though. I don't
you don't have to do it right now. Yeah. So go ahead and roll a control engineering task.
Let me close. I've got so many things open
right now.
I'm
right there with you. So I had to close everything for a second.
Okay.
Hi, chat. I hope you're enjoying the show. I barely looked at you.
Move over. You did get a subscriber.
Oh, thanks, subscriber. You're the best. Reese
2175.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
So I'm going to roll. With that endorsed roll, I'm going to roll. Here we go.
Okay. You got a complication.
I'm going to order you to.
You did that already this turn, didn't you?
No, I didn't, because we already succeeded.
That's fine. Yeah, so you get to re-roll that 0.
No,
you automatically get to re-roll that 0 because the captain's telling you to. Well, at least it's not a complication anymore. Have the ship roll, pardon me, a communication security, please, somebody?
Yep.
Okay, so would you like to spend momentum for an extra die? Shikar.
Should I do that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And I just need one task roll.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 1 task roll. There you go. You're successful. You made it. So, and I think your momentum pulls at 3 now. So
Yes.
yeah, you have successfully, now they have their difficulty for communications is increased by 2. Their signals are jammed, and anytime they try to communicate with each other, the difficulties like a minimum of I think 2 now, almost 3. So probably about 3 because it's probably a difficulty of 1 or 0. I'm not quite sure off the top of my head.
Mhm.
So there you go. And now we get to the freaking the Klingon killer himself in the flesh. Here we go. So what weapon would you like to fire with, etc., etc.?
Phasers. We have how much momentum? 3?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, 3.
And a
All
power
right.
of 10.
I would like. I'm sorry. What?
And a power of 10.
Power 10. Okay. I would like to fire. I would like to make my first attack. I would like to spend a determination in
Okay.
order to add another die. to
Well,
my
okay,
chances of
the way the
Automatically succeed.
well, it's
Right,
not an
sorry.
auto succeed. It means that one of your die is going to be an automatic 2, right? Because like
Okay.
remember the critical successes means you get 2 successes. So automatically you're starting off with 2 successes, which is all. So just roll me one. Just roll me one task roll of, pardon me,
It was
control security.
before.
Yes, control security. Yeah, just roll me one die of that. Okay.
While he's rolling, Jagar's in the background going, Dach, Yabach! Fire all the weapons. Now.
Okay,
And,
so because
Ship
you
does weapon security, right?
yes. What? Yeah.
Weapon security for
Yes,
ship.
yes, yes. Oh, Jesus. Y'all just generated 3 momentum between the ship and Shiv.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that said,
We're back to full.
yeah, I know. Darsh, will you please roll Shiv's damage for the ship
Shiv's damage
on
for the
phaser
Shran.
arrays? Phaser arrays.
One moment.
He actually should have rolled 2, by the way. He only rolled
Wait,
1.
before you do that, Shiv, would you like to use the well, never mind. That doesn't apply to this. Never mind. Ignore me.
No, he rolled 1 because he already gets an automatic 2 because he used
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
determination.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I forgot
He
about
he
that.
basically replaced a die.
Yeah.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 damage. And
And
you
can I-
generated another
10.
yeah. How is it
And
10?
can I use a momentum to add to the damage roll? Like I did last time?
Yes. Yes. So go ahead and roll me one challenge die. Disco. Nothing. Will you roll it one more time just so I can make sure you're not having an issue there? Just hit it again. Okay, cool. I just want to make sure there was, because that's the second time you rolled a 0 on that, and I want to make sure.
No, but if there's an issue, nothing shows up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you said it was 1, 2, 3. Oh no, wait.
Oh no, the delta's a 1.
The delta's a
Yeah,
1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
8.
8. Okay, so 8. And let me pull out my Burrell. Yes, my Burrell. Do. Okay, so boom, boom, boom. So it has a resistance of 3. It was 8, right? That's what we decided.
And then can I spend a momentum to lower its resistance, like I did?
Yes. So how many were you going to spend? 2 or
It's just one.
Just 1. So it goes down to a resistance of 1 total. And that makes it so
7 damage goes.
7
True.
damage to shield. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Boom. So it has 2 shields left. So it's down to like whatever. It's down to like 2 out of 9. So I don't
Right.
know what it's like less than a third.
Right. So before I take my second attack, my veteran thing says if I use the determination, I should roll a dice to see if I automatically get it back.
Go ahead. What is the? Let me look at your sheet and see the rules on that.
It says roll 1, and then it's got like a little triangle.
So that's a D6, yeah.
Yeah, so roll one more. Just roll a challenge die.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So you don't get it. You don't get it back. Yeah. But it is noted that y'all like. I think the captain can award I think the captain can give his determination away. I think the captain's the one character that can do that. The captain can get basically forward his to another character if need be. If the kind of like you're sort of going do the thing.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Captain, you can take there are we've been overlooking it, but you can take an action of your own, and you can do things like rally, and you can basically buff the party. You're basically a bard.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
Okay, so swift task momentum. So the difficulty it's not
momentum
increased.
To hit again.
Yeah. There's 2.
So I'm gonna spend 2 to hit again.
Yeah.
1 momentum to lower its. Challenge or penetration, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then our 4th and final one to add another die to the hit. So we have 4 or 5 at this point.
Yeah, you generated 4 on a roll, so you're good.
So and then the 4th one to generate another chance to hit.
Okay, so let's do this one at a time. So go ahead and do your roll, your control security.
And that should be with a task roll of 3 because I'm adding a die.
Yes.
Okay, I'm picking it up.
Yeah, you are. You got a complication. That's okay. Okay, but you were still now. Did you use your? Were you using fire at will? Right.
Yes.
That was the thing.
Yeah.
So you didn't have a difficulty increase, and I wanted to look.
You got 2 momentum.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's just a second attack. So yeah, I got 2 more momentum. I'm gonna pocket the complication for now until I figure out what the hell we're gonna do. So yeah, so go ahead, Darj, and roll the ship's damage to the other ship, and then you wanted to use a challenge die for 1 more damage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at.
God,
the
Vertigo!
cheat sheet.
Vertigo! Why did you have to come here and make that sound go off? Sorry, Vertigo has.
Didn't turn off your
I
alerts.
forgot. I did turn off my alerts. That's a different one.
I think I'm looking at the momentum spends, and the momentum spend for bonus damage just adds an additional damage. You don't have to roll anything.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I thought it was. Let me look. It's combat momentum spends. I have those. Combat. No.
This is bonus damage after successful ship attack. Add +1 damage. You can re-roll damage as well if you want to, but
let's see.
Well, I rolled and I got a delta. Right.
Yeah,
okay, so we're just gonna retcon because we did do that wrong in the last one. So let's add 1 more damage to the shields of the ship from the previous attack.
Okay.
Because that's what it would have counted as.
So it's now at 1 shield.
Yeah, before the second attack damage even occurs. So
Astra, did you say it's 1 automatically, or we have the choice to roll?
You have
you can either choose 1 automatic, and there's another option where you can just re-roll a damage.
Yeah, you can re-roll the damage roll.
Okay.
Buster, did you mute something when that notice came through in the alert? Because they're saying there's no sound for
what?
For
streams.
For viewers.
Oh, alert sounds did not go through for the viewers. Only you heard it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, never mind. I misunderstood.
Sorry, it came through going bad boy. I'm just like, oh my god. That's Vertigo. Anyway, hi Vertigo. I know you're here now.
But if I choose to re-roll it, I have the chance of getting 3 damage instead of 1.
I think
basically you'd re-roll 1 of your damage.
Yeah.
So if you decided that this was a re-roll rather than the automatic
You
damage
would-
for this last one.
Yeah, you would
You just
re-roll one of those
replace-
zeros.
Which is what he did effectively.
Which is what I
with the-
did.
with
I
that
got the delta.
Okay, is that what you want to do? Because the delta in this case,
Just gives us more momentum.
it just gives. It's literally the same value. It's just one more.
Yeah. So it
One more
would give you
damage.
one more damage and also give us one more momentum because of how phasers work. Well,
Let's do
actually,
that.
technically 2. So yeah.
Let's do that.
Okay, so what's the damage at this point? Does somebody know?
Yeah, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 damage.
That's with the +1.
No +1 for this one because you
Oh.
decided to re-roll 1 instead. Unless you were going to spend another momentum and add a +1.
So were you targeting the computers? Because that's what you were the information you were given.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if there's still momentum to spend, then yeah, I'm at this point.
Yeah.
Shiv's got the bloodlust, so he's going
He's-
to
He sure does.
He's putting them down today.
he's
Yeah.
going to exhaust whatever the
You've-
momentum is left.
You've
I
destroyed it.
support
Listen.
this.
Listen, as my character, it has diplomacy as one of their focuses, and obviously the only thing that Klingons understand is violence. So and respect violence. So maybe this will be a
Yeah.
good diplomatic exchange.
Yeah.
That's
So,
the-
how much momentum do we have at this point?
2, I
believe.
We gained back
You-
3.
Yeah, you generated and took and generated and took.
Yeah.
So Darj is
So if
very good at keeping track of that.
So if we've got 3, can I dump all 3 into 3 more points of damage?
Yeah, it's re-rollable. It's reusable.
All right, then
Yeah.
then just 3 more
Look,
points.
look,
of
look!
damage.
Before you do that, let me tell you, it's destroyed.
No, I'm still doing it.
He's still doing it. That's fine.
Stop!
He's already.
You know what?
dead.
The complication. I'm gonna. Okay, go ahead. Just roll it. Just roll your die.
He doesn't have to
3.
re-roll it.
No,
He
not the
doesn't
roll. The
it.
automatic points. The automatic points.
Automatic 3 points.
Well, this is where like I'm just gonna use that complication that you rolled earlier, and I'm gonna say you destroy it so hard that it actually does 1 shield damage to the Enterprise.
He's okay with this.
Yeah, he's fine with it. I know. I'm aware. Okay, so it's Enterprise's
I'm
turn.
so glad.
Everyone's pleasure must be purchased with an equal amount of pain.
Oh my god.
I'm sure Baj is perfectly fine taking that damage.
Jeez.
I'm so glad I identified the computer system as a weak spot to see that.
Yeah, it just like burns
While
from
the
the
whole ship
inside
just
out.
vaporizes.
You know?
Yeah, never
Yeah.
mind.
Okay.
Listen. You destroyed it so hard with the computer systems that the apes turned on the
oh my
on the
God.
system and exploded it. Okay.
Oh my god. Okay,
They
so
basically went through all the 3 movies, the Dawn, Rise, and whatever it was of the Planet of the Apes before
Yes.
it blew up.
Yes.
okay, I'm gonna try something on Enterprise. I'm gonna change it to an NPC starship. Hopefully that makes it a little easier on me. So the
should fix it,
Enterprise, yeah, there we go. The Enterprise is going to try to do some sciencey stuff real quick. Did I-
So far, I am unimpressed with the 25th century.
Okay, it does some sciencey stuff and it figures out. Shut up. Oh my god, Baj. I cannot wait for one of our end scenes today. I am very excited, Shiv. I'm so pumped for that. That's all I'll tell you. If we get to it, we may have to make this a 2-parter. So
Okay by me.
so the crew task roll there, yeah, they succeeded with flying colors, yada yada. Then they're gonna do like a thing again.
NPC ships have been rolling double criticals like every roll.
Okay, the starship does that. Well, you know what? I'm going to use her command stack because her security officer would have a 5 rating. Okay, boom. Fuck, motherfucker. So she tells them to re-roll that. Cool. They are succeeding. They are gonna do some damage. Finally. Okay, cool. And then they're gonna do this. Boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
10.
7, 8. Wait, how do I keep getting this wrong? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, yeah, 10. Let me go to the cavorts. Sorry, everybody. So yeah, the Enterprise, figures out a spot to hit it pretty good, and it attacks the cavort. What was it again, Darj? It was 10?
10, yep.
So 5. But she spent a little bit of momentum to reduce the difficulty, the thing by 2. So 3. So that's 7 to the shield. 1, 2, 3, 4. Da, 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 da. Okay, their shields are reduced a little under half. And then she's going to basically go for a second attack as well with their stats and stuff.
Are we going to get the classic Baj maneuver of fire as many torpedoes as you have at the target and hope it explodes?
Not yet. Not yet. Okay, not yet. Okay, cool. So she's going to have them. The ship's going to go for that. Ship does that. And where's that sheet for her? Boom, boom, boom. Hell yeah! The Enterprise is coming back around. Thank the Lord. So then the damage. Sorry, y'all. Just give me a second. Oh, yeah, she's gonna do that spin to reroll.
7.
No, she's fine. So 1, 2, 2. Okay. And then she did that. And then so their shields are to 0. But when they get to 0, okay, so that's the end of the Enterprise's turn. But once their shields are to 0, they warp out. Like that. Koroth, he can't really hail anybody because, Shikar screwed that up. So that ship takes off. That ship decloaks, and as far as you know, it takes off. So now you are no longer in combat. Okay. So Baj, with the open line with you guys, she asks, she sees her people are telling her over scans that y'all are totally fine.
Mm-hmm.
She just says, "Gift," and then she looks at she comes in she looks at the the view screen and stuff. She looks at you, and she says, for a rescue and aid ship, you are impressively well handled in a battle, Shran crew. And she looks at Shiv, and she looks pissed that she's giving him a compliment.
Thank you, Captain. We've got some impressive veterans. As much as we're here to help and save, we also have to make sure that the people aboard are safe.
Of course. Well, we need. Sorry, I'm I'm combat brain fried. So yeah, she kind of looks at her she looks at her little console on her thing, and she says, "Well, we need to go to a specific location for the." Sorry, I can't think. What she's telling you, I can't do it in Baj voice right now. What she's trying to tell you, or what I'm trying to tell you through Baj, is that y'all are actually supposed to go to a specific location because that specific location will be where you reappear in the past.
Mm-hmm.
It's where you're supposed to reappear. That's where you're destined to reappear, and that's I don't know. We'll say it's at warp 6 or 7 or whatever. It's like a half day. It's 12 hours, 6 hours, something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, whatever. I don't care. It's like a ways, so you'll have time to kind of prepare, figure, anything that you need to tend to, you can tend to. Anything the Enterprise needs to tend to aboard. She obviously.
I doubt we'll have time to install the deflector dish during the travel because we'll be using our deflector dish to travel. So we'll have to wait for the installation at where we are, or
it should take us. it would not be wise to stay here.
We could also
Understood.
establish the systems, get the systems ready, and get everything ready to hook up the neutral deflector dish.
She nods to this, and she offers basically to send tlhIngan, her XO, and like a couple, like, you know, like her chief engineer. Remember, she said only her senior officers will come aboard, but she's basically gonna send like tlhIngan, her chief engineer, and probably somebody else from her senior staff over to start prepping your systems. And basically, you know, getting everything cleaned out in the space where it's supposed to be plugged in, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, she offers to send them over as soon as possible, or we can like, or y'all can just sort of like stop, you know, take a quick like stop like in a few hours, and then get them over, whatever y'all want to do. Basically, it's not going to take them as long, but at some point y'all will have to stop to either get them aboard or to put them back on the Enterprise, depending on when y'all want them to come on.
Why don't we beam them over right now to help get everything set up, and then when we reach there, we can finish installing and then beam them back.
Yeah.
All right. She goes ahead and does that, and in the meantime, yeah, sorry, I gotta look at my notes. I don't know what I was supposed to do after. I'm like, what am I supposed to do after the battle's over? All right, everybody, we're coming back in. Here we go. Boop, boop. Let me make sure that went through on Twitch. It did. Did it? Did it go? Twitch? Yes.
Yeah,
okay. Cool. There it comes. So, all right. So we're in Act 2 now, everybody. And, you know, repair crews, like the damage report says that y'all really didn't, like, no casualties. You know, there was like a point where the ship shook like once. That's about it. Y'all are fine. Your systems are all your systems were already back up by the time that
Oh, right, yeah.
yeah. So
Because I turned off the replicators and we fiddled with the shields. So yeah.
And going to warp should have reduced y'all by 1 more power, but I'm gonna give you back all but that warp power. Okay, so you should be back to 14 power now because you've had time. You know, you've been traveling. So tlhIngan, an engineer, the chief engineer who I haven't named yet. Sorry, I'll come up with a name here in a second. And actually, the doctor. And if nobody's picked up on the hint on who the doctor is, it's, you know, for the audience, for the sake of the audience, this is the doctor from Voyager. That is the chief medical officer of the Enterprise now.
So long as he doesn't do any Technobabble al fresco, I'm fine. No, that's Robert Picardo's thing on YouTube.
Yeah, he. So, where are y'all? What are y'all doing? You know that like there's a few members of that crew aboard. Where are y'all all respectively at? Do you think in this point in time? Like you've been probably in warp travel for like an hour at this point while they're doing those systems sweeps and whatnot down in engineering.
I know at the very least that Beers has ordered Shiv to follow the like just effectively stalk these people from the other.
Now, are you ordering Shiv to do that directly, or are you ordering him to get a crew on them?
No, I'm him directly. Him.
Okay.
Personally.
Okay.
Like,
So
I only trust it with him.
So Shiv, you are down in like the engineering bay because they're obviously again they're not installing it right now, but they are preparing like the deflector dish to have this sort of added on. Because it can't. I mean, I don't think you could. It's basically it's gonna act as like sort of an addition to the deflector dish. I think the biggest concern would be will it damage y'all's deflector dish when you get back into time.
I'm technically savvy enough that I'm down there like you gotta push in and then twist and then it pops out and then you can put the new one in.
Okay. So tlhIngan, you know, she kind of stops in the middle of what she's doing when you do all that, and she just stares at you, and she says, "Your advice is noted, Commander." She's not being, you know, she's just Vulcan, so she's just, you know, very neutral, but she's not annoyed at you. She's just a little like, you don't have to hover over my shoulder, kind of vibe there. And then Gator, of course, is helping the engineer, who he seems to be getting on with pretty well. You know, Gator's really easy to get along with for a Gorn.
And I'm using every excuse I can to tag along, because even though I'm supposed to stay on the bridge as the engineer, just so I can shadow the doctor, just so I can get a closer look at that thing.
So you're on the bridge? Because the doctor is... Okay, first of all, who's on the bridge? Let's get a... So we know where two of the characters are. Where are you, Shikar?
I think I'm trying to hunt down Baj.
Okay, so you're trying to hail her?
I thought she was on the ship.
She can be. If y'all want her on the ship, she can be. I mean, she's got her own ship, but she doesn't mind. She'll come over, sure. Yeah, actually, that's what we're gonna do. She's actually like, how about you're giving her a tour of the ship?
Sure.
Okay, we'll get back to that in a second. Uvana, are you doing anything or anywhere in particular?
I imagine I would be helping with the. We're preparing our computer systems to control this device. So
you and tlhIngan are focused on that, while the engineers are focused on the physical side of it.
But before we began that, I made a point, I know, of going over, walking past Shiv, and just kind of nodding at him and going for a fist bump, because I thought that was so awesome how we handled ourselves in the combat. So I just wanted to
how do you respond?
Make sure I acknowledge what he pulled off there. So yeah. And whether he returned it or not.
Yeah. What did you do?
So this would have happened earlier. That's
yes.
why we were going.
Mm-hmm.
Right. At the you know, when she pulls up for the fist bump, you look at it for a second. You know, Orion's blue, green, whatever. You go. All right. He'll bump her, and then he's gonna hand her a pad. He's gonna hand her a pad,
okay,
and just like discreetly and hand her the pad. And Uvana, when you look at the pad, it's basically got every scan and every piece of detail that we got on the 3 Klingon ships and the Enterprise on this pad. And it and you'll notice that it's been disconnected from wireless communication. It is a standalone copy of the technical records of those ships.
Okay.
That is no longer on the ship's network.
Okay, so you just isolated it to that one pad, is what you're saying. Okay.
Basically, isolated this pad. The physical pad has to be destroyed in order to lose.
It's analog.
The information.
It's analog. It's no longer digital.
It's analog. I've stripped it of all things, and I just handed it to her and said, "Keep this safe," and then go back to my business.
Yeah, well, you were probably on your way out the bridge to do all that, to escort them from Transporter Bay. So that happened like an hour ago. Okay.
Yeah.
And then Voss, you said you were sort of shadowing, which the doctor would go to the bridge first, because he'd want to scan like the captain and whoever's available on the bridge. Like he'll, he can't be monitored like by Shiv physically. So, but he went to the bridge first. And of course he asked for permission and stuff. So he's on the bridge. But let me go. So actually let's do that real quick. So the doctor, to those that he seems particularly interested in YOLO, and he's scanning YOLO with like a tricorder. The tricorder is, it's sexier looking. Right. So that's kind of what you're looking for, is what he has, and you're also looking at him in particular. And Captain, you see this. You see like the subtle, like, Vosh, like kind of leaning over from his chair, that kind of thing, looking at what's going on with the doctor's arm.
I'm going to walk up to Voss, and I'm trying to be as quiet as possible.
You do have a ready room. Just reminding you.
Oh no! I'm. Hear me out. I'm gonna walk up to Voss as quiet as possible. He's leaned in as much as possible to look at it.
Okay.
I'm going to slap him on the back real hard as if I'm getting his attention.
Hey, my boy.
Yeah, and just be like, Lieutenant, how's the progress working on your side of the systems? Just to try to scare him.
Captain, yes, it's progressing well. The level 2 diagnostic is 80% of the way through. We should be done within the hour, and then we can get the shields all the way to operational before we actually arrive at our destination.
The doctor is faced in a way that y'all's whole interaction sort of happens in behind YOLO with her position at the helm, and he looks up at the two of you, and he just sort of. He does a thing where his eyes squint a little bit, you know what I'm talking about? They get, he just looks at you two because he saw you smack him on the back, and he just kind of tut-tuts under his breath, and then he just keeps scanning YOLO, who, by the way, is slightly pale, but not significantly, and he ends up asking her questions about how she feels, and she says something along the lines of,
I feel great, but I kind of have a tiny, teeny little stomach cramp.
And he just continues, and he just tells her, let's keep an eye on that. I will coordinate with your Dr. Huff and keep an eye on you. And he lets it. And then he goes to the captain. Now, Captain, you don't feel off, right? You don't feel off, but there's been this sort of inkling of the pit of your stomach, but that's it. Mm-hmm. So he comes up to you and he's like, Captain Bierce, do you mind? And he kind of gestures do you mind if I scan you?
I kind of shrug and say, go ahead.
And he starts to scan you. And then he's doing it, and then he sort of hones in on your stomach where your symbiote is.
Mm-hmm.
And
is there something wrong, Doctor?
He slaps his thing against his chest, the thing, and he says, not that we need to be concerned about as of this moment. He's clearly I can't tell you. It's I can't tell you what's what kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he just says, I hope you understand. He literally says, temporal prime directive. I hope you understand, Captain. Why I can't discuss it much further. He nods. And then he goes ahead and he looks at Voss and he's just like, do you mind? Again, he does the same thing to you. He sort of gives the do you mind gesture, Voss.
As he does that, I kind of wave my hand and say, Doctor, it's probably best for Temporal Prime Directive to skip Lieutenant Voss for this time. He's very inquisitive.
So I've heard. And then he walks off the bridge without another word. He just gives you an up and down, like he's judging you. But not in a bad way, it clearly indicates to you, Voss and Captain, and Beers, that yeah, he knows this. This is an experience. Yes, yeah. You know what I mean?
Once the doctor's left the bridge, I'll turn back to Voss and go, Mr. Voss, do not make me get Commander Shiv to issue you another copy of the Temporal Prime Directive for you to study and take a test on.
I was just looking at the tricorder. Did you see that? That's the Bark 15. I've only seen that in technical drawings and in the dreams of engineers, but now it was there. It was real.
Yes. Your curiosity is a wonderful thing for a Starfleet officer, but not when we're in the future.
TR-890 Mark 15. Goddamn.
So the security officer that has taken Shiv's position at his console just kind of shakes their head and rolls their eyes and keeps working. Because they have been very well informed of the reprimand that has been put on Voss. and I'm sure they've been ordered by Shiv to sort of don't, whoever they are, they're like Shiv probably said something to him like, don't let Voss mess with anybody from the crew. So, from the Enterprise. And now we're gonna transition.
Actually,
go ahead.
I can tell you exactly what Voss's order to the security crew would have been. It would have been, don't get caught. Like I said, Shiv has already secured the tactical, specs of 4 different ships that they've encountered in the 25th century, and made sure they can't be deleted remotely. He would have been like, keep an eye out for anything remotely useful. Temporal prime directive is for hippies and for it's for admirals and commandants, and not for people out in the field who do real work.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Now I want to
and-
know what an Andorian hippie is.
Yeah, keep your eyes and ears open. And don't get caught. Would have been his orders.
Okay, so let's go over to trying to say actually, so you got specs on the Enterprise. Did you get did you just attempt for physical specs, or like ship specs, or did you attempt to get any crew information about it?
No crew information.
Okay.
Cool. No. Shiv has no interest in people whatsoever. It is strictly what's the armament, what's the power output, what's the shield capability.
Okay.
It's literally all those things that we were scanning for weaknesses. It's like literally, he just every time one of those things came across his board, he was just whoop, 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 like sending it in cloud sync. Into his
that was just the one important thing I need to know if you tried to pull like a crew manifest or anything. Okay.
No.
And you have no interest. No interest. Okay, good. That's probably
so far nobody in the century has impressed him.
That's probably
I would believe the quantum torpedoes would impress you because they are after our
time. And you know what I mean, the scans like tell you there's a different type of torpedo and stuff like that. And like
we didn't get to see them in action, so.
Yeah. So you won't have the full information on like how hard they hit. But you do know there is some kind of torpedo aboard that ship, and it works in a different way. And of course somebody like Uvana can probably gain some information through that information. You know what I mean? But she could probably figure out what kind of torpedo it is. So let's move on. So we have Baj and Shikar, and Commander Shikar. So where are you at this point on like your ship tour, Shikar? Where some like where do you think you're at this point?
I feel like I've taken her to our ship bar.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say that. I was hoping you were gonna say that. Okay. Let me see something.
It's 7 forward, unless we came up with a better name.
Was it 7? Yeah, I couldn't remember which one.
I actually had a note for this. Let me find it. I had a note specifically if Baj ended up in the bar. Okay, and this is actually for a different act, but I'm gonna pull it into this act.
Would 7-Up be a better name?
Yes, maybe that's the unofficial crew name.
Yeah, that's what the crew calls it, 7-Up.
Because he's just drinking it, isn't he? Right?
Yeah.
I think I saw a bottle.
Shiv, for the sake of this, because this is actually a scene I needed the two of you for. Shiv, for the sake of this, we'll say that this is like everybody's taking a break, right? Everybody's like on a dinner break kind of thing at this point. Even the Enterprise crew. It's been a couple hours by now. And you were, is it okay with you, Shiv, that I put you in the bar for this scene?
Sure.
Okay, cool. So yeah, it's been like, they've very much done the tour. Your shift, like a lot of people on your shift are on, a few people are on their dinner break, including you, and you see, Baj and what's your name? Shikar. You see, Shikar. You see the two of them like just sitting at the bar. Where would you go in the bar? Do you join them? Shiv? That's it.
I'm thinking.
Oh, sorry.
I don't have it. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go and sit down and just kind of like look back and forth between everybody and like, yes, I'm socializing.
Would you literally sit in between us? Like if we had an empty chair in between us?
No.
No. Shiv would what Shiv would do
Grab a
is
whole chair and put it between them.
He would walk up and then grab a chair from a nearby table and then position himself where he could keep an eye on the door.
Okay. You
Okay.
can't have your back to the door kind of guy. Okay.
Yeah.
And so so you're at the same table as them then. You
So
join their
he
table.
sits down and where he can see everybody that comes and enters and exits the
Well, yeah, okay, they're at the bar, but they're at the corner of the bar, so you're able to like put a chair at the corner of the bar where you're facing.
Okay, yeah. Then you said you go to the far end. You go to the far end where you can see down the entire bar, see the entrance.
Yeah, because it's like, and then Baj is between you and her at this point. And when you join them, they're like, Baj is just like, she's slapping her hand down like something funny, just something really funny.
Oh, I told the classic Klingon joke.
Oh, okay. Well, tell me that joke then.
It's Dok a shuvwe pu Robert. Shoot.
It never gets old. It never gets old.
It never gets old. It's the best Klingon joke.
It is the best Klingon joke. It is the greatest of all Klingon jokes.
It basically means,
Yeah.
are the warriors red? No, they're blue or green or yellow, because Shud actually means all three of those colors. You don't have to understand it, Terrence.
Yeah.
And Trill.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Not for you.
Yeah, it's not for you. It's not for you. Okay, it's a Klingon thing. All right. And so when you
just in the background at this point, Nolan had kind of gotten to see Shiv's mannerisms and his habits, so I'm just gonna go behind the bar and get a drink that Shiv would be drinking at this point, and just I'm at the bartender side. I just go up to him, put the glass in front of him, and just lean in, and then match his gaze towards the Klingons.
Wait, so you're sitting there too now?
Well, you said everybody's at the bar.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I just wanted to know that you're there too. Okay. Yeah. And so Baj laughs at that joke, and then she sees like that Shiv joins, and she suddenly, like, it's not like she doesn't go cold, but she certainly like Commander. And her expression changes a little, not of contempt, but there's just something there. There's something there, and then she does this. She kind of like, she was leaned more toward. Sorry, I'm having the hardest time today. Jagar. She was leaning toward Jagar, like laughing and stuff, and then she sees you sit down, and then she kind of does one of these with her hand, and she looks at you, kind of looks you up and down, and just says, Commander, how are you today?
Just gonna as Jar puts the glass of Endorian ale in front of me, I'm just gonna pick it up and look at her and be like, thirsty, and then take a sip.
You were always
Madge.
thirsty. She's like, I shouldn't say that. I should. And so, but she's making a joke, like she's trying to make a joke at your expense. And then she starts to kind of look between you and Jagar, and she says, there was a time where the last time I was in this bar, I remember there being, like, she's a little inebriated. She's not terribly, but she's starting to probably tell something that she shouldn't be telling. And she was like, oh, the karaoke.
Klingon bomb.
Cher always killed.
The word karaoke.
Oh, wait. Wait. Oh, I shouldn't tell you that. I'm going to spoil the fun. No, I'm not going to tell you that story. Okay. Okay. That's all. Nope. I need to go back to my ship. I am I'm opening my mouth too much. Temporal Prime directives.
No. Not here. Not here.
You know what?
Yeah, bah. Sit down.
Okay. and she's like wanting, like she's just like, oh, share. She gets stuck on share, like, and at this point, like, first of all, everybody roll me like an insight command to see if you even know who Cher is. Well, the people that are in the bar. The people that are in the bar.
Okay.
What is the complication on this?
None.
Okay. I've definitely got focus though. One die.
Nolan's hatred of karaoke is such that he instantly knows who Cher is.
Okay, yeah. Everybody but Shihar knows who Cher is.
Well, she only rolled one die.
I only roll one. Oh, hang on a second. There we go.
Yeah.
The complication is Baj is a bit offended that you don't even know Cher. It actually really works. You don't know of the legendary woman named Cher? Oh, God. Oh, we have to fix this. And then she just starts like there's like, one of those like little stages, and there is like a karaoke program on that stage. And she just kind of like knocks a few chairs over, like intentionally on her way. And she like, but, wait, how do you do it on this console? But, stupid defaults. And then she proceeds to, and she gets into, she's doing like are you all ready for this? Are you ready? And this Cher always kills. And this is an appropriate song for the situation you're all in. And then she proceeds to sing one of the best versions of If I Could Turn Back Time that any of you have ever heard.
Give me one more second. Like one more second.
Yeah, enjoy it. Do you have it?
Going to?
Yes.
Have you translated it?
Line. There it is.
There you go. Oh my God. Is that a taste of a new album coming in that I see? Is that a taste of a new album? Oh my God.
It basically means if my mind travels back in time.
So yeah, like. And Baj actually, what's funny about Baj is Baj typically speaks Klingon, but for this song, she actually sings it in English, and her accent is very normal for like a human standard. Like, she's like, I didn't really mean to hurt you. And like, she's just like having the best time. She's having the best time, and y'all, and then it instigates like a karaoke thing. And, y'all eventually like kind of, whoever stays, whoever doesn't. And it sort of instigates a little partying among the crew who's there. But after like, 3 songs of like, because other people sang some song, that kind of thing. What happens is y'all get an alert. Y'all get an alert that basically. Well, first, let's go back to the bridge. Captain, you're on the bridge, and Yolo is kind of manning, like she's the one looking at it, and she says, "Captain, I detect trouble ahead." And the Enterprise is already like dinging y'all too with the same report. Mm-hmm. And so, how do you inform the rest of the crew?
Do I know what any kind of other than it's just trouble?
Say that one more time.
Do I know if it's
just trouble? She specifically tells you she is seeing another group of Klingon ships coming to intercept.
I call for Commander Baj because I know Captain Baj, which I know she's still on the
yeah,
ship.
she's getting a hail like at the same time as you, and she just says, "Go ahead." She actually chooses yours. She's like, "Go ahead, Captain."
We're picking up another group of Klingon vessels ahead.
Of course we are. How far out are they? And then YOLO of course tells her that like they're at the rate they're going and the rate that it looks like the Klingons are going at that we will like be within range of them within half an hour. Like they're clearly like it's very obvious based on the Enterprise and the Shran scans of what's going on that they're coming through, and that they're coming to meet you. So if you stop now, because everybody needs to shuffle back to their ships, that it'll delay them like a hair, but you do what you do.
Yeah. So we're gonna drop out of warp and then repair, do our swap over and changes now, fix everything now before we get there because we don't have a chance.
Well, Baj recommends that she and her people go back to their ship, that we pause on that y'all basically y'all are paused already, like for everybody to have a dinner break and stuff like that. That y'all pause on what you're doing. We'll finish it later, but we clearly need to deal with Klingons again. That's basically what she's getting at. Like she's just basically like, let's go. Let both. She's gonna order the Enterprise to fall out of warp, so you can fall out of warp too, and she and her people can get back on their ship, and that way then y'all can go back to warp, or y'all can just sit there and prepare for another attack from where you are, whatever y'all want to do.
We haven't installed the new deflector dishes effectively yet.
No, and you don't like. Clearly, if Klingons are coming your way, you may not want to just do that yet. She points out like if we stop, it could take longer than that to install the deflector dish, and then she explains that if this is Koroth again, then he is still after that deflector dish, and our shield capabilities. Let me make sure. Let me actually. Basically, they're the bigger, badder ship overall, is what she's saying. It's safer on the Enterprise. Yeah. It's safer on the Enterprise. For now.
All right. Let's drop out of warp. Or I say, YOLO, scan or is Uvana on bridge?
No. No. Uvana, are you? You were probably, tlhIngan. You were with tlhIngan. And
I was with tlhIngan.
And y'all
did the doctor ever catch up with me, by the way? To check me?
He was just getting to you when this hail came through. Actually, yeah, he did. Okay. He did. He's probably hanging out with you and tlhIngan.
I had one thing to say to him when he asked me, like,
yeah, he scans you and all that.
If I feel different or anything, I just tell him the oddest thing happened. When we arrived here, I realized my hair was suddenly wavy and it was perfectly straight just before this all happened. So is that a thing?
He tilts his head at you. And he just says, I will have to look into that. And I need to do further research. He's like but then he gets the command that he needs to go back to the ship. So he's like, I will get you an answer if I can. And so y'all drop out of warp. The crew of the Enterprise. Does anybody else need anything else from the crew of the Enterprise before they go over?
No, but I just want to say that I'm walking back to my station and I'm singing to myself because I'm still drunk. Padak
I love
which
it.
Is I knew you were trouble when you walked in.
So everybody goes back to their ship and all that, and y'all. So what was the idea? Y'all were gonna stay out of warp.
I was gonna say,
yeah, like Bodge up and
scan.
With you.
Yeah, scan for any kind of local area we might be able to use, like a star or a nebula, something that can get us out of their range and possibly slip by them if we need to.
Okay. There is a system nearby with like it's like it's not a normal star. It's like a star with I don't know space stuff off the top of my head. Like what's a good star that could cause like some Like it's a dying star. So in theory, you could evade them. You could evade them. Yeah. So in theory, you could evade them.
Pulsar.
Yeah, pulsar.
Yeah.
But
Or
they,
neutron star.
you know, who knows? They might catch you. They might not. So let's just say y'all get in here just for the sake of narration. Let's say that Baj agrees, okay, and y'all, though she's a little like, like I kind of want to fight him, but okay, and she knows the priority is to get y'all home. So y'all go and y'all get like some cover there, and the Klingons eventually arrive. There are approximately 10 Klingon ships this time, including the one that that left from the last battle. The one that left from the last battle. Clearly he is very upset, and he called some buddies. And they like, you know, when they come out of warp, they sort of like you can see them for a minute, and then they go into cloak, and they start to and all you can tell is that they're like, and Baj even tells you likely what they're doing is they're trying to find us, obviously. Like she's just they're going to look for us. And so from there, I'm gonna have somebody, let's say it's who is it? Who would it be? It would be probably YOLO. YOLO. Where is she? She's gonna, like, her and the Enterprise are basically gonna like maneuver to stay like in this area. And let's see how that goes for them. First of all, I'm gonna roll for the Enterprise wherever I can find it. I don't need that sheet open. Here's the Shran. And then I need the Enterprise. Sorry, guys. I have to keep closing out of stuff and then reopening it just so I don't get crazy here. Enterprise. There we go. Boop, boop. Okay, go to the character sheet of the Enterprise. So the Enterprise is going to use like, and y'all will do the same, but Uvana can do it. Or no, pardon me, YOLO can do it individually. Let's do structure con, because it's gonna be like difficult to stay within this, you know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna take some stuff, which I don't know why that, like, okay, so that's, so the Enterprise is having no problems with this itself. Oh, attribute discipline 0/0. What? Oh, whatever. I don't understand, like, it didn't give me it doesn't give me the option to enter those attributes and disciplines.
But how did you roll a 2 and a critical failure at the same time on the same die?
Well, it's 2 critical successes. I don't care. And I'll figure that out.
Roll
attribute.
fucking 20, man.
Okay, I see the attribute discipline line now. I'll fix that in the future. I'll learn how to use that. Okay, so the Enterprise is having no difficulties. So can somebody roll me YOLO doing like a con control?
I'll do it.
Yeah, please and thank you. I'll roll the Shran. I got that open.
Because I don't see YOLO's character.
Test roll 2.
Yes.
Oh, it's low. Yeah, it's under senior staff.
YOLO. Yeah, senior staff NPCs. So she's successful, and the ship is likely successful too. Let me do that real quick. Structure con for the ship. Boom. Okay, yeah. Y'all are fine. Y'all are able to evade the Klingons. I'm gonna do a time check on that. Roll the same thing for YOLO again.
With focus or no focus?
Yeah. What's her focuses?
Nanotechnology, interstellar navigation, flight control systems, engine propulsion systems, reverse engineering.
Yeah. She's pretty focused in all that, so she's pretty good at that. Yeah, go ahead with focus. Ooh, she's good at that. And then make sure the ship. Okay, there goes the ship again. And let me roll again for the Enterprise. We'll just say for the attribute, it's like a 9. And then for the discipline, it's like a 3. or no, pardon me, this would be like a con discipline for the con person. So they would have a 5 in that. And then let's say they would probably have like a 10 in control if they're on the Enterprise. Or no, that actually control would be like their most important one. So there we go. So here we go for the crew. Yep, of the Enterprise. And all right, one more time, everybody. I'm gonna roll for the Enterprise again. Oh, okay. So it doesn't really matter what y'all roll. So after like 30 minutes of this cat and mouse, like y'all hiding, the Enterprise like catches like a piece of debris that was, or actually like a solar flare kind of thing happens. Like something the pulsar like causes an issue, and it smacks the Enterprise because it's ahead of you, and it causes enough of a kind of a jumble and knocks them enough that the Klingons have detected your location. And so they're now going to converge on you. And that is the end of the episode.
Okay.
Part 1 is complete. Part 1 is complete. Yeah, I had a lot planned for this episode, and I should have known with combat it was going to take us 2 episodes to get through this. Because you're about to have a really tough episode coming up. Because you did so good. I even was like, oh, I'm only going to make the second battle like 5 to 7 Klingon ships. And then y'all just breeze through that. So I was like, screw them, it's 10. It's going to be a hard day for y'all. Okay, so with that said, thank you, cast. Great job today on combat. And I'm going to start from Darj again today for favorite moments of the episode.
Whew. Damn. Can I go for my least favorite part of the episode?
Oh my god, okay.
That we didn't have a captain's log open.
Oh.
Thank you for criticizing me and all of the things that I do for you, Darj. Thank you for
that was Paul's fault.
No, I write the captain's logs, and I didn't get to write one today. It was literally like I had so many other things, and I was like, oh shit, I forgot captain's log. No, we'll have one for next episode. We'll have a supplementary captain's log.
No, but what I did like was that we kicked ass, and that the ship combat was a lot more streamlined than I remember it, and you're to thank for that.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for trying to be nice to me. All right, Uvana. I mean, pardon me, Ariana.
I would say Shiv not wanting to worry about the order of the temporal directives to protect everything. We're still gathering info and doing things on the slide.
Don't get caught.
It's kind of fun. Yeah.
I actually like that. Yeah. I like that.
Shiv's a very pragmatic. All things happen for a reason. If we are here,
he's gonna make use of it.
There's gonna be some fucking advantage to us being here.
And then Jen.
We already have somebody saying kicking butt at the combat, which was just really fun to see. Go Shiv. So I will follow up with absolutely 100% getting drunk in the bar, Klingon karaoke.
Yeah.
Forever.
I just the whole, like, it was funny because I was very close to naming the episode the way you used to, or like you used to do from that song, that lyric of that song, and I was like, I have to make a reference to, because I was listening to it and I was like, oh my god, this would be such a good title, but I ended up with another title. So
and then for chat, really quick, for folks in the chat, there you go.
all single Klingon ladies.
Okay.
And then that takes us over to Disco Lando. What was your favorite moment, sir?
The thing I liked most was that everybody else. I'm trying to figure out how to say this. Everybody was doing their role in the combat from Vosk, doing what he needed to do to regenerate the shields, to Uvana doing what she needed to do to find us, places where we could do critical damage and get breaches, to Jagar doing what she needed to do to minimize communication and coordination between the ships. I think it was part of it was nice just being able to be like, all right, I just gonna go shoot because everything else is being taken care of.
I think you can understand why I told you before the episode, hey, you're gonna be put to work here. So yeah. And then Paul, what was your favorite moment?
My favorite moment for this episode is that pretty much everyone got to do things, and I like the fact that Neiman specifically said, none of you are to break the temporal prime directive, and Shiv
and trusted Shiv to be the enforcer of that rule.
Trusted Shiv to be the enforcer, and then he just completely backstabbed me. Entirely backstabbed me.
No.
He didn't backstab
about
you.
betrayal. Shiv's like, absolutely. Nobody here should break the temporal prime directive. Absolutely. Just as the captain says.
Yeah, he's like outwardly projecting that, right? But he, like you said, he's pragmatic. He's kind of a pragmatic guy. Like it.
No. For all outwards appearances, it would be yes, absolutely. The captain has to do that. The captain has to say that. The captain has to be that way.
I mean.
And that's why I'm here.
How many times has a captain in Star Trek said, hey, like, first officer, I want this thing to happen. And the first officer's like, cool, but you don't need to know that I got to do this thing, No.
The mission that Shiv was on undercover for during the Dominion War would have been with Section 31. Like that's where the arc of his career is eventually going. So he's like, oh yeah, absolutely. It's like you're the moral center, and you've got to do everything fine and like this, and I'm the guy that's going to run around behind you, and whatever. Like, yep, and I'll let you keep your hands clean.
Yeah, he's the fall. He's willing to be a fall guy if need be.
Yep. I also say my second favorite moment is when Shiv was just like, I'm going to blow up a Klingon ship, and I'm going to blow up another Klingon ship. I'm going to keep blowing up Klingon ships because I can.
Yeah, like,
this is what I'm built for.
I want to go ahead and do 3 more damage. I want to go ahead and do 3 more damage to that already destroyed Klingon ship.
Sorry.
Yes, Buster. I
just really want to make sure that it is not getting put back together.
How many Klingons did Shiv kill?
Probably. Well, Burrell Bird of Preys probably have a crew complement of about 100. So he's killed like 200, well, 200 to like 150 to 200 Klingons today.
And just to make sure, we were the aggressors, right?
I mean, yeah, y'all shot first.
We shot first.
Yeah, Shiv shot first. You heard it here. But I mean, well, because turn order. But yeah, y'all basically. I mean, I gave y'all a little bit. I didn't give y'all a surprise
but
round.
It was our.
I just gave y'all initiative because y'all were smart enough to go, hey, in the background, like, let's do all these little things while they're arguing. Which,
I mean, they struck the defensive posture first. Like they they kind of went on the offense. So like we were just defending ourselves.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, we had
to do what we had to do.
I literally gave you the initiative just because you were smart enough to go, hey, during a Klingon cursing match. So, which is literally why I did that. I hoped y'all would be smart enough to do something with that time, which y'all were. So yay, and y'all are all very smart people. But I just, sometimes you're in the heat of it and you don't think about it. But
I'm figuring this TTRPG thing out.
Yeah. Take advantage of what you can. So for me, I have to say my favorite moment is It's so hard to pick. Honestly, like, really my favorite moment is that y'all did so well with the combat. I mean, you know, for me, like, I have to keep a lot of, that's why I kept saying, like, one thing at a time when you're doing, like, 5 turns in your 1 turn, you know, like, I have to take it one thing at a time because I have too much information to process on my end, whereas y'all only have, like, your ship and, you know, you don't have as much information to process as I do. In any given situation. So I appreciated that y'all like allowed me to like y'all allowed me to be like, okay, next. So and that helped me a lot because I was able, I think at the beginning we were kind of jumbling up because everybody was excited, but then once we got into it, y'all snapped right into it really well. So I'm really proud of y'all for that. So good job. Congratulations on your first combat situation. Welcome to the one that I am going to use to try to at least put y'all in my goal in the next episode is to at least try to make y'all sweat a little bit. So at the very least. So anyway, thank you everybody who watched. We really appreciate you here on Twitch and on YouTube. Please leave a comment. Tell us what you think about the episode, or if I screwed up combat rule, please let me know because some of them were very confusing and I was having a very hard time with them. And the other thing,
it's a good tool when they can get to torpedoes.
Yeah, if somebody could tell me like how salvo works, we're going to talk about that because there's some issues with salvo that I have. But anyway, thank you for watching on Twitch here, live audience. Thank you on YouTube for watching again. Click subscribe. Hit the bell. Leave a comment. Yada yada. Feed the algorithm for us. Thanks, I appreciate it. And that's it. We're getting out of here, and I hope y'all have a great day. And I'm gonna transition to the scene for the little buttons on YouTube.